inclusive. That's why
And good afternoon, everyone. How you doing? Hi, Queen Peachy. How you doing? We're looking at a school in Oakville, Ontario.
Why do you use profanity so much?
Because you're a douchebag Nazi.
Child sexuality is not something that we should be promoting in schools.
You know what? At the end of the day, I'm forced like all these other kids are. So that's what I have
I'm
to
gonna
say.
let this run through a couple times.
Mr. Big Boy, pulling up in your big toy.
I'm sick and tired of seeing all these pride posters in our school. They're promoting it and shoving it down our throats.
All these other people, because they're like quote unquote different, they get to say whatever they want.
Today we're here to oppose the agenda that's being pushed in that building. Many of you have been in the indoctrination facility. I myself, I was arrested at the school, standing up against the garbage that they push against us.
Hey,
It's not
how are you
inclusive.
doing,
That's
Chloe?
why people aren't listening to
I
you.
thought you were off work in half an hour.
Why do you use profanity so much?
Because you're a douchebag Nazi.
Child sexuality is not something that we should be promoting in schools.
You know what? At the end of the day, I'm forced like all these other kids are. So that's what I have to say.
Mr. Big Boy, pulling up in your big toy.
All right, enough of that. How you guys doing today? It's could have been a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hi, Tony. Hey, Pamela. Good to see you. So it could have been a beautiful day, but unfortunately they've chemtrailed. It's beautiful temperature, 21 degrees, but they've chemtrailed to hell. Let's see, give you a view of the escarpment there. You can see the nice haze all over the escarpment over there. So I would have gone for a nice walk, but unfortunately that's pretty unhealthy out there. So we got a few news items to show you. Canada's, let's see, yeah, there we are. So that's what's happening in Canada, in high school out in Oakville, Ontario. The students are rebelling. One student was trying to guard a girl from having a young man go, or young lady, whatever he identifies as, going into the female's bathroom along with a young lady. He got kicked out of school for that, and later on arrested for trying to return to school. But this has set into motion an entire rebellion by the student body. So there's some pushback happening out there. That's good to see. Some opposition to. We always need opposition, one side and the other, and hopefully something happens from that. So here I'm going to share with you something that is going on in Canada as well. Canada's been pretty busy.
Breaking news out of Canada right now, Justin Trudeau has sided with the NDP to push a bill through, Bill C-11, which is the internet censorship bill, with literally zero discussion. He has shut down all discussion. He has shut down all amendments to the bill, including senators that are on his side that are worried about some of the content that are in the bill. Basically, the government of Canada has said that if content is not deemed Canadian enough, it will not be allowed on the internet or for us to see. This includes not just independent journalists, however, authors, music creators, content creators. This is absolutely not a bill to push more Canadian content into Canada. It is an absolute censorship bill that the Canadian government will be able to control at all times. This means that we are not allowed to basically question anything that the Canadian government is doing online. We will not be able to share any Canadian information that goes against the Liberal agenda. This is absolute totalitarianism. This is not a democracy anymore. Canada has completely lost its plot with Justin Trudeau at the helm. And with the NDP helping them at every step, I want every Albertan to know that this next election, it is super important that we do not elect scumbag Notley so that we can actually uphold some sort of democracy, at least in this province, since the democracy of Canada is completely dying. This censorship bill will absolutely wipe out any independent journalists, authors, music content creators that are not deemed liberal enough. This has nothing to do with being Canadian enough. This is an absolute totalitarianism step that Justin Trudeau has taken to censor the internet because too much information is coming out against his true plan and his true intentions.
So, I appreciate you. I'm happy that you're not in Canada as well. Well, I don't know about that. I'm sure you'd be just fine in Canada. You guys have your own TikTok bill going, which is basically the same thing. So they're, yeah, what's up, TikTok? So they're doing the same thing with the Your Internet TikTok bill. Hey, Tony. Yeah, here, all hail the tail. So yeah, this is what's happening in Canada, but this has been an ongoing process for about a year now. They've been pushing this bill C11, and it's the same thing like you guys have on the TikTok legislation, right? They're pushing and they're taking it a step further for you guys. They're basically outlawing VPNs, which are an option from your phone. So you can't, using a VPN will become illegal. Yeah, it's freaky scary all over there, Chloe. My wife asked that too. You know, she's always concerned, you know, that the TikTok bill isn't in Canada, right? But then I have to look at her with surprise and say, you know, we've got Bill C11. They're going to censor us harder, Daddy. You know. But they're trying to say that they're pushing Canadian content, but they are also using the language of disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation, which is the same language being used everywhere. It's basically the push towards, communist style totalitarian control over the content. Eventually, I probably won't be able to see any American or outside Canada content, and what I do see in Canada will be censored and vetted for being proper propaganda. So that's where we're headed at the moment. Trudeau, yes, he did. He offered the Obama's asylum. Right now, he's under investigation by his basically his uncle. Who was on a board of, who was on a foundation that received money from China, and the uncle that was on the foundation that received money from China is investigating Justin Trudeau for receiving money from China to that foundation. It's and of course, yeah, he's basically found a good party who can investigate him. Now, the Conservatives, our Conservative Party, could do their own independent investigation, but that's not what's going to happen because they're sold out too. At least most of them are. We have independent parties that are actually truthful, but they've been censored. They would have had a seat in Canada, but Trudeau gerrymandered them out of existence. So that they wouldn't have a voice. We're hoping that this election, the Purple Party, hence the purple T-shirt, the Purple Party in Canada, the PPC, the People's Party of Canada, gets at least a seat in there. We have a decent politician called Maxime Bernier, who is making a lot of noise. It took him a long time to wake up. He only woke up in the past 2 years. To see that the NGOs were all controlling our governments. So it's good to see, though, but it's taken a long time and he doesn't have enough power. Let's take a look at something else. Yeah, it's the same all over. You can say, oh, like my wife thinks that she's in Canada, she's safe from that because our government loves us, right? But that's not, unfortunately, not true. So here we have the French going ape shit on their government. I haven't watched this video. It's a 2-minute video, but look at them going. I saw the preview for it. But they're burning the city. There's burning cars in the city, turning over police. They're really fighting back. If I didn't say hello to anyone coming in, hello. Hi, Pamela Jean. Hey, no. How you doing? So the French police going right along. I wonder if they're exempt from the increase in time working before retirement. Good to see you, Pamela Jean. Yep, umbrellas. What they need is umbrellas, and a good thing to use on police with their shields, their face shields, and their riot shields is paintballs, paint balloons. That was used effectively by children in Ireland against police. So there are countermeasures, non-lethal countermeasures that protesters can use. Marbles is another one. A big bag of marbles strewn on the ground in front of a police line. Paintballs, and for, of course, for these sprays, umbrellas. So there are ways we can protest and stand our ground. Of course, it just leads to escalation, but peaceful protest, if they take it to it, is the best way. These are countermeasures if we have to. That would be last resort. But yeah, there are a lot of things we can do. So, you know, pick up some balloons, some paint, some black paint, an umbrella, bag of marbles, be good. You know, just some things for the kids to play with, you know. That's all it is. And don't get oil paint. Get like a silicone paint that won't harm the police in any way. But yeah, French protests. Now we're going to go straight over here. We got another one coming up. I'll show you that there are protests going on all over the world. It's good to see. Now, I wonder if they're protesting potholes. The truckers strike in Canada. Oops. The first thing that the news said was the truckers were striking because of potholes. It's like, no, they're not. But the public fell for that for a while. I say we resonate to the level of the dens of inequity. The protesters used marbles. If you go to protest, don't go alone. No. That's right, Scotty. TikTok does not collect any more information than YouTube, Instagram, just the US. Yeah. Just getting their cuts, so they want them out. Yeah. Well, and they're allowing a lot of speech that's unacceptable, as Justin Trudeau says. He calls it unacceptable speech. So pretty soon we'll all be having the unacceptable speech propaganda put on us.
You may call them whatever you wish. The Order of the Quest, the Jasons, the Kabbalah, the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta,
the Knights of Columbus, the Jesuits, the Masons, the ancient and mystical order of Rosicrucians, the Illuminati, the Nazi Party, the Communist Party, the executive members of the Council on Foreign Relations, the Group, the Brotherhood of the Dragon, the Rosicrucians, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, the Open Friendly Secret Society of the Vatican, the Russell Trust, the Skull and Bones, the Scroll and Key, the Order. They are all the same, and all work toward the same ultimate goal, a new world order.
I play that for people watching this video in replay who wonder when we say they, them, things like that. That's who we're talking about. These secret societies and much more. There's many more than were listed there, but that gives a pretty good idea. So anyone coming in who wonders who they are, that's who they are. Oh, that's Dindar. Keep that one up. Yeah, they do look scary. They always hide behind the masks. It's ridiculous. I'm just dropping some tabs here so we don't slow down the stream. Yeah, we've done Bill C-11 on the internet. That's and that's who's doing this, right? Is the they. The they are doing this. They are paying off our broadcasters. They are paying off our judges. They are paying off our politicians. They are paying low-level thugs to carry out their agendas in the form of Antifa and others. You get tired. Yeah, who are they? Yeah, I get tired of hearing that myself, Scotty. Exactly. So, I don't know. When we start talking about them, we should always preamble with here's a list. My question is, what's up with the music in the movies? Eyes Wide Shut. I haven't seen that one. You'll have to tell me. And hi, Emmett. Eye for an eye. We don't have to be evil or ugly to beat them being better at their own game. No, we don't. Actually, that's how we do beat them, with non-compliance, love for our fellow man. That's how we beat them. Scums, yeah. Yeah, that's they're supposed to be working. When did Antifa become bad, right, Toth? Right, they're anti-fascist. Doesn't everybody hate fascists? Yeah. Good question, Thoth. Yeah, right, Karen? All seems rather sus to you. Oh, the woke stuff? No, it's perfectly legit. Perfectly legit. Now, this is your time to rant, Toth. You know who hates anti-fascists? Fascists? Oh. Must be. You're looking from a clip that the movie was in. Oh, okay. I got you. Thank you, Emmett. So they. Yeah, I hate that question from people. Who are they? Well, if you don't know who they are by now, you need to do a little bit more research. Rant it up, right? Yep. Eyes Wide Shut was a disturbing movie, yeah. I'm going to put the link in if anybody wants to come up and rant. It's a good rant day. Lots of crap going on. America was anti-fascist during World War II. Okay. Yeah, we can do love magic better than their fight magic. Yes, I was featuring that yesterday, Karen Lynn, the robot dogs in New York. What a horror show. Like, how I saw a video where a guy took a bunch of off the shelf products and one of those little toy robot things. It was pretty big, about a foot or two long. But he attached a gun to it and a recognition program. And he got it to shoot targets square in the middle every time. They are masters of deception, Pamela Jean. Baby eaters, blood drinkers, pig folk. Okay. We are having a good rant today. Clothing optional. Awesome. Japan was imperialistic. We're all over the map right now. Wow. We see all these psyops from the government. I've been recently watching the news on TV, and you can just read the propaganda. What they omit, what they focus on, is ridiculous, stupid. And I can see how, if you're not tuned in, that you'd believe the propaganda they're putting forward. It's well crafted. They are clever. Brings me to I don't know. Want to do something. I don't know what we can do other than keep speaking out. But when Bill C-11 passes in Canada and your TikTok bill passes, our free speech will be over. There's even jail time, I believe, in the bill. Up to 2 years in jail for some of the offenses they have. A 2-year-old wrote and played the music since we're ranting. Okay. The demons that want you dead. Yeah. What's that about phone, Karen or Pamela? We're all magic innately. Yep. Yeah, we have, there's more of us too. We have the collective unconsciousness. They have to subvert the collective unconscious with their movies, news, and other propaganda. Your grandfather was one of the... Oh, okay. Howard in his Navy. Yep, I saw that one too. The robot, the standing up humanoid robot that can they probably programmed, I don't know that it actually made those decisions, Scotty boy, but it seemed to have the visual recognition to know what it was doing, and it did a backflip. That was ridiculous. I told my wife about that the other day, and she, looked at me with astonishment. Lots of love to you too, Chloe. And Chloe has, let's do viewer mail at the moment. Chloe has sent us some images. She's been finding mud fossils all over the place. It's a good little distraction. I love mud fossils. I was showing my daughter the other night, last night, some of the stuff I'd found. Just brings me a lot of joy seeing this stuff. It's a different reality. Let's see. There we go. Go. Okay, what have we got here? Indent in the back. Can you see some pink, red hues coming through? Yes, definitely. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit here. You do find the meatiest looking stones there, Chloe. No, I think it's maybe upside down. I don't know what we're looking at. It could be an organ of some sort. Let's see. It does have indentations on the back side. I love the crystalline structures up there in the on the bottom right there on that image. That is neat. Oh, a lot of stuff to me. Not that everything's a heart or a lung, but it does look like heartish in color, kind of shape. Over here in the large image, it looks like you've got it upside down. So I think that the top, yeah, where the pink and red is, right there where you're pointing out, I think that's the top. And you are looking at the front here of it. I think it's oriented upside down. What do you guys think? Pretty rock? Hairball. It fell right over, no flip? Oh, okay. It had a hairball. Yeah, maybe it's a giant hairball. Yeah, this is Chloe's stone, so pretty cool. Ever find any gallbladder stones? I don't know, maybe. Maybe a lot of them could be kidney stones or something. I don't know. Let's see the next image here. I think that's a heart. A lot of things mirror. Oh, yeah. Is that the same? That's neat. I like the top image there. Oops. That's cool. Look at all the marbling. Wow. Yeah, it looks like muscle structure. You can see the separations here up at the top left or top right. Let's go over and take a look. Oh, definitely some holes there. I'm always looking for holes. And that's some good. It's not a lot of blood, but there is some. These pinkish areas. Looks so meaty. Oh, and there's possibly a line for the chamber separations. Oh, that's gross. That looks juicy. Look at that. That's wow. That just looks like fat, doesn't it? Hey, maybe it's like a liver or kidney or something. Gosh, I don't know. That looks juicy inside there. Looks like a shoe. Peppercorns. A giant's liver could be. That's a neat looking one. Neat. It looks so meaty. Still thinking heart. I don't know why. Huh. Oh, that's really neat looking on the side there. That part there looks really cool in the center. Okay. That's really cool, Chloe. Thank you for those images, Chloe. I think heart. That's my guess. Heart with a whole bunch of fat in it. This guy was eating a lot of frog wa. That's my thinking. A lot of goose liver. Go back a few images. There was only the two. So it's the same stone. Which one did you want me to look at, Scotty? Yeah, crack it open. She finds them like everywhere. How many have you got now, Chloe? There, the top image on the right. Okay. Giant livers like that. Yeah, I got some good crystal up there. Got some green line going through there. I don't know what that is. That could be dirt or a geode. Yeah, it could be. I don't think so, though, but geode. She went back to work. Oh. Okay. Well, I'll show it again when she comes back. She's supposed to be off at 3. Hi, Queen of Courts. From Egypt. Awesome. How's your trip going? I don't know if your phone can do it, but there's a link if you want to pop in. Great so far. Nice. Yeah, you can give us a visual of where you are. Sorry, the middle one. Okay. I think there's only 3 in this one. Let's see. Okay, so the middle one. Okay. There we go. Nice little druzzy pocket. Oh, cool. So you think it might be crystal all the way through there, Scotty boy, eh? That'd be cool. Be something to test there for you, Chloe. If you're watching the replay, we'll ask her if she comes back. One night tripping on shrooms, it looked like I was walking on old bones all over the place. Yeah. The bones tend to decay and disintegrate, though, apparently. Late at night, you're so dark. We'll post some pictures and videos soon. Okay, cool. All the cops in the donut shit. Okay. They serve traditional Mexican chili pork for lunch. It's pretty good. Nice, James. You were just hallucinating? Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking rock, though. I love stones. Got many of them myself. None like that, though. Here's another share we have for you.
Toxic masculinity is one of the most evil terms I have ever heard. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's just literally toxic individuals. What it means to be a man is now being branded as toxic, whether it's being competitive, aggressive. We are now teaching boys and men to be softer. They're trying to turn men into women. And I think the reason they want to do this is because it's the men that go to war. It's the men that fight the tyranny. It's not women. We're emotionally not resilient or even physically fit enough to fight the powers that be. It's the men that do that. So when the men are feminized, the government, those in charge, can get away with whatever the hell they want to get away with.
Toxic masculinity. Divine masculine, divine feminine is actually being promoted throughout the spiritualist community. And men are being told that they need to express their feminine side. Unfortunately, I don't have one. I want to know what you guys think about that. Do you have a divine masculine and a divine feminine side? We have a good mix of women and men here. Got some really nice specimens. Oh, okay. Are you allowed to take stuff? Wow. Can I get her digits? Maybe. She's I don't know. Therapist I knew from years ago came by this morning. Nice to see her again. Excellent. You sure do? Okay. In what way, Queen of Quartz? Do you believe men and women have a divine masculine and a divine feminine? Or do you have, you sure? Okay, you have both. Okay. I look at it more as I have a artistic male side and a creative male side. I think women have a, analytical feminine side and an analytical creative side. The divine masculine and feminine is, I think, overdone. I think men can be entirely masculine and women can be entirely feminine. And they say that some traits are masculine and some traits are feminine. Like nurturing, is it a feminine? People keep coming in. I'm missing the show. Oh, sorry, Emmett. What do you guys think? Tony's got some dice there. Paradise. He's got double balls. Yeah, I agree, Toth. All are human traits. Whether it be aggression, compassion, anger, rage, love, nurturing. They're all human traits. That's a good way to look at it, Toth. Real men aren't afraid of what others might think. Yeah, anyone standing in their own power, right? Anyone who believes in their own divinity, shouldn't be afraid of what other people think. All are human traits, yes. So do you guys think that this promotion of the divine feminine in men is being used to try to, further feminize men? Nurturing? Do you think nurturing is a masculine or a feminine trait, James? Some people view it that way. Leg and elbow down on the right. There, my divine feminine. The rest is all divine manly. Okay. You got a couple parts. Okay. Take on more masculine traits if she's surrounded by men. But are they masculine, or are they just acting acting masculine, or like the people around them? A man can be holy but not divine. A woman can be easily be both. Nonetheless, I consider divinity to have a good measure of both. Divinity does mean divided. God divided of himself to make us, or the all spark divided. I'm not a human parasitic fungus feeding off an apple. Okay. If I had more energy, I'd go all Viking. Cool. Masculine and feminine traits. Yeah. Okay. Budweiser's ad campaign this week busted the company. Yeah. I heard they're losing money hand over fist. Overcrowding population. If you look at, the rat experiments where they get the feminized men, the beta males. Yeah, compassion is not a bad thing. Yeah, we need to be reminded of that too. Yeah, we have both testosterone and estrogen. There have always been hermaphrodites and the like. Now that would be a true mix of the divine masculine and feminine. Worst ad campaign ever. Yeah, I saw it actually. It was horrible. It was horrible. He was prancing around like an epileptic, pretty much. They want both. Hi, Pamela. They want both genders weaker and dumbed down. Yeah. What's inside can kill more people than what's outside can. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of disease is psychosomatic. It's built into us. We need balance. It's not like we can go buy masculine at Sears. I'm not buying my son any more Bud Light or Coors. Coors anniversary too. You got to go late, right? Hi, G. How you doing? Good to see you. They don't. What? They don't want us making love. That's for damn sure. Well, they do, just in weird ways. You know, they want you to do it in the what? You ever heard that song? What? What in the butt? It was weird trying to normalize stuff. Let's throw it off. Would never drink that water before, but especially now. But to be fair, I don't drink. I prefer cannabis. Yeah, I don't drink beer at all myself. The only thing I have drunk in the past 15 years, I'd say. I had a few drinks with a friend, but I made some mead a few weeks ago. I drank that. Yeah, that's what we should do. Open up a microbrewery or something, you know? There's a few of them around, but we could do it with a special spiritual bent, you know? Yeah, it was a nice day here, but they chemtrailed stratosphere aerosol injected the hell out of my sky. Now there's nice haze that's descended onto the city. Colorado Kool-Aid, yeah. Yeah, mine doesn't much either, Pamela Jean. I don't like the hangovers anymore. Feel all swollen up. Yep, I did that. I made mead with honey. 3 parts water, 1 part honey, and some yeast and let her go. Yeah, I made some with ginger. It was pretty good. Cinnamon too, and one with cloves. So you can add different spices into it. I like it when it's about a week old. Past that, it starts to get a higher alcohol content. It starts tasting like a wine. Before that, it kind of almost tastes like a pop. It's kind of bubbly. A friend of mine told me I could do that and maybe put it in the fridge and stop the fermentation. So I'm going to try that. Yeah, we got 2 Pamelas in here. That's nice. We could get 2 Jameses in here too. Where's Liqueur? Haven't seen him in a while. 97,000 Americans die from alcohol-related deaths each year. 45,000 deaths from long-term health effects from alcohol. Wow. Well, yeah, we have a guy called Billboard Pete in Canada, and he was wearing a billboard that said "Don't sexualize our children" at a protest, and he got violently attacked by the other protesters, the transgender protesters. So they're really striking out, and they have expressed no remorse over even sadness or over the deaths of the children at the school shootings. Very inclusive as long as it's their inclusiveness, I guess. I guess those gays eat McDonald's on occasion. I don't know. Yeah, glad I quit drinking. Yeah, right, Mr. Obvious? Probably got some nano gel in there too, eh? Okay. That's the only one we got. Yeah, I showed a protest at the beginning of the show in Oakville, Ontario. Protest against the sexuality being taught in schools. It all started from an incident where a young man was trying to going into the bathroom, being harassed by somebody going in dressed as a girl, and it ended up in a whole thing where he was kicked out of school, and he came back and they arrested him, and now the whole school's in an uproar. Let's see here. Just looking for that. Oh, this is lovely. This. Yeah. Here's another beautiful thing happening in Canada.
That will be the home to a firearms armory, interrogation rooms, this according to the architectural plans, biological labs, media relations offices, I don't even know what this is, controlled quiet rooms, and intelligence facilities.
Let me rewind that.
The plans were drawn up by a firm building the arms architectural plan labs, offices. I don't even know what this is. Controlled quiet rooms and intelligence facilities were drawn up by a firm in Winnipeg, and they kind of open a window into what climate enforcement looks like in Canada. Down the hall from the proposed firearms storage rooms are several evidence rooms, interrogation suites with adjacent recording rooms. According to a recently posted Indeed.com ad up in Canada, the ministry is searching to recruit a battalion of climate pollution officers with the name of the environmental. Doesn't sound like just that. The entire facility is 50,000 square feet. It will house hundreds of ECCC staff. And the Impact Assessment Act is what gave it power. This passed in the final days of Trudeau's majority government, and it gave sweeping power to ministerial enforcement officers. But nobody knew what that was. It was just in that bill, kind of like, the bill we just passed. Nobody really read it. Nobody knew what it was. The IIA empowers agents of the Ministry of Climate Change to enter premises without a warrant to verify compliance or prevent non-compliance with the Climate Change Act. Trudeau's climate police can enter any location that affects the environment to take photographs, access computer systems and communities, and direct any person to put any machinery, vehicle, or equipment in the place into operation or shut it down.
That's horrifying. Excuse me. And we have 15-minute cities. How do you... give me a second. I'm going to replay that.
They're building this facility that will be the home to a firearms armory, interrogation rooms, this according to the architectural plans, biological labs, media relations offices. I don't even know what this is. Controlled quiet rooms and intelligence facilities. The plans were drawn up by a firm in Winnipeg, and they kind of open a window into climate. Down the hall from the proposed firearms storage rooms are several evidence rooms, interrogation suites with adjacent recording rooms. According to a recently posted Indeed.com ad up in Canada, the ministry is searching to recruit a battalion of climate pollution officers with the name of the group, the Environmental Enforcement Directorate. Doesn't that sound a little communist, just that? The entire facility is 50,000 square feet. It will house hundreds of ECCC staff. And the Impact Assessment Act is what gave it power. This passed in the final days of Trudeau's majority government, and it gave sweeping power to ministerial enforcement officers. But nobody knew what that was, just in that bill, kind of like, the bill we just passed. Nobody really read it. Nobody knew what it was. The empowers agent Ministry of Climate Change to enter premises without a warrant to verify compliance or prevent non-compliance with the Climate Change Act. Trudeau's climate police can enter any location that affects the environment to take photographs, access computer systems and communication devices, and direct any person to put any machinery, vehicle, or equipment in the place into operation or shut it down.
That's horrifying. These are the kind of bills they're managing to pass. Let's get rid of this guy because he's apparently a blowhard. So I don't even know who he is. Airplane records? What's that? Oh, with Epstein, yeah. Well, we have the flight logs. Like they won't look at them, right? So they won't do any investigation and see what what's going on. They blew themselves up, yeah. That was cow suicide. Okay. Sort of like a Branch Davidian thing. They all drank the Kool-Aid, did they? All right, let's have a smudge after that. That was horrifying. So again, we do have some good news, but we again the noose is tightening around our necks, unfortunately. But people are starting to stand up. The kids are certainly starting to see what's going on. They know that they don't want to be part of what's being promoted. Cows have cults too. I've heard that. Yes. Oh, that's Glenn Beck. Okay. They must have farted all at once. Well, they do in Canada, Jane or Crystal. Criminals investigate criminals up here. That's what we have happen. We have a guy on the take investigating another guy on the take. Justin Trudeau. He's on the take from China, his foundation that promotes him. And the guy investigating him works for that foundation. And he's on the take, obviously, Well, they're all on the take. Jesus. Seems to be the only reason people get into politics these days is to be on the take. It's a joke. No one laughs. Everyone on that plane should be witch tested. Okay. Tested for adrenochrome and stuff. Yeah, we do. We need more investigative reporters. We don't have many, and they're soon being censored. One of our major ones, Rebel News, is taking it really hard. There was supposed to be an alternative news media site, and they were supposed to be able to ask questions of the politicians. But not one politician has ever showed up to converse with them. Oh, and here's a nice trick that Justin's doing. You're supposed to have town hall meetings where you go and you're able to talk to the politicians, right? Well, Justin has made them all private. And he doesn't publicize where he's going, which public events he's going to be at. And he vets anybody coming in. So he has only positive feedback from the crowd. So he gets his good photo op to put on TV for the propaganda machine. He is getting yelled at everywhere he goes. He's getting jeered and crapped on constantly. But that's not being shown in the media. He tried to get out. Now he's traveling around with 40 security agents. More than any other prime minister in history at any time. And you're going to see these things kind of happen. Yeah, it makes a good distraction. Goldfish? Okay. I learned that I haven't paid tax in 10 years. Nice. Top of the crack pot. It's just dead ground, no rain forever. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, natural spring water is hard to get. I can't get any, so I'm stuck with reverse osmosis or distilled. I found a video with their go back to your original DNA diet, so I fully understand those sick bastards are doing. Yeah, you can reset your body, your DNA, and your body with fasting. You'll get the purest expression of your chromosomes through that. Hi, Angel Wings. Yeah, our furry overlord has made a reappearance. Do you want to say hi? Of course you do. There's the tail. Come here. Say hello, people. Say hi. Love you all. He's so docile most of the time. If you touch his belly, he'll go nuts. That's a no-no zone. See, even cats and dogs, they know the rules. If you were to go and touch a cat's dog or a dog's butt or their belly, you know, a lot of them don't like it. Don't touch me there. That's wrong, you know. So even the animals know. He's not fat. He's fluffy. We call him Fluffy. Yeah, don't make eye contact, eh? He's healthy. He's only about 13 pounds. Our other one's about 18 pounds. She's the big one. Modeling contracts and whatnot. We're used to escort the really rich guys. The water smells like chlorinated poop. Yeah, tap water is a horrible thing right now. Your cat lets you pet his belly? He does too, but only when he's outside. He has to be outside on the pavement. Then you can pet his belly. He's fine with that then. But inside, no. He's got his rules, and we have to follow them to the letter. He sleaze and sucks me in. Yeah. Thank you, no? Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. He likes to walk down the hall, and somebody was asking me if, hey, Charles. Somebody was asking me if that was a raccoon. They thought it was a raccoon up on the 11th floor. You don't look like a raccoon, do you? No. Our bulldog gets mad if we don't rub his belly. Okay. Whines until one of us does it. Yeah. What did you... why would you do that, Scotty boy? Why would you do that? That's disgusting, gross, and mean. It's an old trick for constipation. Okay. Hey, Crystal Shaman.
Hey, John. My earbuds aren't working, so I have to do this without earbuds. Sorry.
Your sound's fine.
Okay. How is everyone doing? And I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you, I cannot see the chat because since my device uploaded, for some reason, I can't see the chat anymore when I'm on a panel. And I'm sorry if I'm coughing, but that's just my life now. John, on that video, this is a video that a Russian man made. YouTube took down his channel. But someone else has this video up, one of his videos. I'll send you the link later.
Okay.
I can't do it while I'm on here on this, I don't think, but I'll send it to you over in that other place we talk. Okay, I've never heard of this, but this has to do with nothing to do with fasting. This has to do with You know the colors of the chakras?
Okay.
Okay. And you are cycling through these colors based on the moon cycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Now, I've never seen this, and the little graph it showed just showed moon waning. And I thought, what about waxing? Because you've kind of mixed something up here and you're not giving it correctly. But it was like a little rainbow looking graph, you know. And I'll send you the timestamp for where that is in the video. I mean, there's stuff in the video that, you know, you like me would already know, but towards the end is, you know, maybe 15 minutes left in the video, 10 or 15 minutes, then this part comes on. And it's talking about how if you want to go back to your unfettered original DNA, then you would eat by this cycle, and it lists it's giving you the foods in each group as well. However, I'm looking at, okay, hold on, because the alarm's beeping. I'm going to have to fix it. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, read a chat on another device. That's if you've got another device. Hey, Isabella, good to see you.
Okay, I'm sorry. So while you're looking at through these colors, you know, this is mostly a visual video. There's very little talking in it. The man is Russian, you know. It does have subtitles in it. But as you're going through some of the color screens, you know, it flashes from this color to that color. I'm thinking in terms of Russian language, you know, and I see this word and I'm mispronouncing it in my head because I'm thinking this is a Russian person. So by this time in the video, I'm thinking Russian, you know what I'm saying? So I see this word and I go, okay, it says these vegetables and fruits. And then it has a plus sign and then it says FETUS. And I was like, fetus. And I'm like, what is fetus? So I Google it. And of course, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, WTF.
So
This
telling you
is
to eat fetuses?
yes. So this is what they're doing, John. This is what they're using that for. And you reach a certain level in this diet.
Yeah.
And then you must isolate yourself and do a medical kind of, I don't know how to word it, kind of like you isolate yourself and you have to do certain things. I don't even know how to say it, John. Like
dismemberments or
no. I mean, you know, medical supplements or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? You must isolate yourself because it says the minute you leave this medical isolation room that you have put yourself into, then you get reinfected because the whole world is infected, it says. And this all goes back to like all the organisms in your body, you know, nanobiota, all that stuff. And you know as well as I do, if you're breathing, you've got it in you. We all have all the crap they're spraying in us. It's in the food, it's in the water, it's in the spray. We can't get around it. We just have to try to defend ourselves. So
you can minimize it as best you can. Like I have a filter on a box fan. Works pretty good for taking particles out.
So this is why this person says you must completely isolate yourself. And if you go out of this, I'm sorry, out
when
of
you
this
come out, you're
isolation,
reinfected. Yeah.
then you have to start over again at this other level. You know,
Wow.
you can only reach a certain level outside of isolation. So think about this, John.
Mhm.
The people who allegedly die, and we feel like it's a false flag death.
Uh-huh.
Kobe Bryant.
Well, they have 10,000
You know.
bodies from Canada from the MAID program.
I'm talking about high profile, well known people who allegedly died under weird, unusual circumstances. Where are they really if they didn't actually die?
At McDonald's, maybe?
Like Kobe Bryant, Mr. Cobra himself, and all these other high profile people. A lot of people say Prince is not dead. A lot of people say Michael Jackson's not dead. A lot of people say a lot of people aren't dead. And all these people are enmeshed in this whole way
so
of
you think
life.
they went for a rejuvenation and
And they could be in this because evidently doing this type of diet and the latter part, which is in isolation.
so they can't leave isolation or they have to start again, right? So
It elevates you. You can only get to, like, I think it said like the 5th level or whatever. But by doing this, it makes you very powerful, you know, transcendent wise. You know what I mean?
okay.
So
You think they're hiding underground in bunkers, right?
I have no idea where they're at. I'm just speculating. I'm just saying that this explains their thing that they do with the babies.
Okay.
You know, all the you know, abortion stuff, all the, you know, to get the baby parts and all the, you know what I'm saying? This explains a lot. And I'm like, wow. Now I kind of fully understand what it is they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, that's a cool concept. Well, terrible concept, but
It's horrifying.
it does fit what's going on, you know.
Yeah, it's just horrifying, but it's kind of like maybe another piece of the puzzle. But it's kind of like, wow, I would have, you know, you hear about all the things going on, you know, in that, you know, what they do. And you're like, huh, I don't understand why they do that. Huh?
Well, there's the adrenochrome thing that they harvest, they claim. So that's, I don't know if it's a youth drug as well, but they do know, I know that they sell online in public, you can buy young people's blood to replace your blood with. So why wouldn't they take it to the extent, you know, to a far extent as they can, you know?
Well,
that
see,
only
I
makes
don't,
sense.
and I don't understand the logic of this, because how could you get back to your own original DNA if you are consuming another's DNA?
That really doesn't make much sense to me either.
Yeah, it's like, I don't understand that. I don't get it.
Yeah, because your chromosomes, DNA, it's all going to be different. So,
right,
you know, you're going to be, even the food we eat changes our DNA in a small way. So if you're just consuming somebody else's DNA, you're going to impart their DNA in you.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I just don't even know about this. I was just, you know, I could see, I thought, okay, well, I could see doing this cycle of based on the vegetable stuff, but I'm like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Of course, why would I? You know, I don't get it.
Yeah, it doesn't, I don't know. I could see people trying it for sure, but I don't know if the elites are doing that. Like, we hear about all kinds of weird technologies they're supposed to have, rejuvenation chambers and shit like that.
You remember Howard Hughes used to keep himself in isolation?
Yeah, he kept his pee in a jar too. He didn't want anyone getting hold of his pee or anything. And,
Why did he do? What was he afraid of?
I couldn't say. I don't know. I have a hard time getting past him collecting jars of pee and not, you know.
Well, people drink it,
Yeah,
and they say,
yeah, but he just didn't want anybody to get his pee. I was like,
they say it's fortifying somehow.
It is apparently. It's apparently pure concentrated vitamins that are processed, so they're supposed to go back into your body much easier. So your body absorbs them a lot easier. That's the idea.
Yeah. There's some channels on YouTube that
Yeah, he was a germ freak too. Yeah.
practice that, and I think, remember Michael Jackson, when he would go to a store, he would wear gloves and a mask and stuff like that. And I don't know. I just think about the people whose deaths just don't add up, and I'm like, I've always felt like they probably weren't really dead. And I mean, look at Epstein. Is he really dead? Was that a body?
There was so many questions with that. Like,
was that a body double? Because I actually took pictures. I did a comparison of pictures of that body as opposed to pictures of him previously, and they didn't match.
No.
Certain features did not match. So,
no. Yeah, I agree with you totally on that. Whether these people actually died or not is questionable, highly questionable. Camera's gone completely out, guards gone to sleep. It's just totally ridiculous.
Nice and convenient. What a coincidence, huh?
Yeah, never happened before in their history, but it happens now.
Yeah, when this high-profile man is there for a very short amount of time.
And all these new different people in the prison that weren't there before, it's, I don't know what they did with him. I do think that they do protect some of their own and hide them away. Like, he wouldn't mind going and living on an island. He doesn't care about, I don't think, really, you're going to have to make a contract that you're going to have to get out of the limelight and live a life, I guess, somewhere else with a bunch of teenage girls being flown in for you.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they would provide him with a steady stream, as his incentive. And, I mean, but John McAfee, I feel like he's probably really gone, I think they didn't want him to talk. So,
did you see the video of him that came out where he said he's not dead, that he got escaped?
No.
There was, there was a video. It looked pretty legitimate.
So do you think he's really alive?
I don't know. I don't think so. But the video really looked legitimate. It was funny. Like, if it's faked, like they could have deep faked it.
Well, he allegedly had a dead man switch. Well, I never saw any dead man switch go off with the stuff,
No, me neither.
Nothing was ever released.
Yeah. Plus, really, I don't know what other he knew, really. Like, he knew a lot. Like he said, he collected all the information. So where is it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, he was disgusting himself. So let's face it.
I don't know. I never watched him. I only saw him a couple times. So.
Well, there was a documentary called.
He talks really smooth, like he's a cat or something.
There was a documentary, called El Gringo. Oh boy, wow, it's an eye opener.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't. I saw it once, and that was enough. I don't ever want to see it again.
Okay.
I think you have to have it. You'd have to get it off net. I don't think it's out there to see for free. I don't know that you could find it, but you could look. But yeah, he was disgusting. He is disgusting if he's still alive.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he was in that movie or something?
It was a documentary about him.
Oh, okay.
It was not a movie. It wasn't
Oh, okay.
pretend. It was a
Okay.
documentary about him.
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
asking.
there were women on there, young women,
Okay.
talking about his preferences, which were
I
quite
see.
bizarre.
Okay. Well, that's very informative. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll go no further with that because it's pretty disgusting. It's just, and
Okay.
I mean, it's not. Don't think of Epstein, that kind of segment. It's something
Yeah, Epstein
when
had
it's,
apparently a city of women that were pumping out his kids or something too.
yeah, well, Epstein wanted his own little society of babies, but
Well,
no,
you were talking about that youth thing, and we were discussing the problem of them not having the same genetics, and that might be a way to get over that problem.
yeah, I don't know, but
If you had a bunch of babies yourself, you could eat those babies, getting at
oh,
least half of your DNA.
oh, John, let's not go there.
Well,
Oh,
you just tied the two together for me, so
well, I mean, you took it a step further, but I mean, you could be right for sure.
that's pretty logical. If that's
Yeah.
a process that these people believe in,
And
where
they keep their bloodlines all in the same group.
so he
You
may
know
have
what I'm
found some
saying?
women that are closely related to him in some way.
They interbreed with their own bloodline. So
Great taste, less filling. Yeah, if it's your own, it's great taste and less filling, right?
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I
I
didn't
think
know
they
this was
just slurp them up raw, Paradox. And how you doing,
yeah,
buddy?
I didn't know this was going to lead to that, but you do have a point, John. You do have a
Yeah.
point.
Like they all seem to want to have their own little city of progeny, right? I wonder if Gates
Yeah.
and all these other Hillary, look at her in Haiti, right? She's still got holdings down in Haiti, I think. I wonder if these people have got little towns all over the place with people genetically related to them in some way, and they're pumping out babies.
I don't know. My friend gave me that John of God guy.
Yeah.
You remember that guy? My friend gave me a crystal, a smoky quartz. It's like a little tower thing, smoky quartz. Can't think of what it would properly be called, but my friend gave me a crystal, and she's like, "Oh, this crystal was blessed by John of God, And she said someone else had given it to her. And then about 6 months or a year later, all this truth comes out about John of God. And I'm like, holy crap. Of course he's corrupt and disgusting and a predator,
James
And he
Ortiz
was
says ancient Mayans got all their knowledge through eating sacrifices. Sorry, go on.
eating what?
Eating their sacrifices.
Well, that just doesn't appeal to me. So.
No, I'll take my information through the third eye. Thank you. That's how Tesla got most of his. He went into sleep state, and most of his stuff came to him in dreams, he said, or visions.
Yeah, and Edgar Casey.
Mm-hmm. That's really the way to do it. Eating babies is not the way to enlightenment, people. No matter, it might seem tempting, you might want to do it, but
just think twice.
Yeah,
think twice
about it. Think about it before you do it.
Yeah.
Mine must have had small feet. The pyramid steps were for small feet. Well, that also was so your head would roll down better, right? You didn't want to get your head stuck on one of the steps before it hit the bottom. Yeah, sure.
So yeah, didn't the Mayan group do that kind of thing?
the sacrifices, yeah. And
Yeah.
James says they ate their victims. I don't know that I remember that, but baby steps. You have to start somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the Mayans did that sort of sacrificial kind of stuff.
Yeah, they were able to rip the beating heart out of people's chest.
Well, that takes some talent now, doesn't it?
It does. It takes a very wide, flat blade. They crack open your chest and peel it open and pull your heart out. And yeah, it has to be done very quickly so that the heart's still beating.
More horrifying stuff.
Well, so that's a perfect blessing because it's fresh hemorrhaging blood, which is
goodness.
Blessed. I don't really say blessed people anymore because
John, must you be so descriptive?
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's the actual definition is fresh hemorrhaging blood. So I don't really say bless you to people anymore. There's
all right.
words.
Well, dear heart, I'm going to go ahead and step off the panel. I was just going to come up for a minute and tell you on the what that video shows. It was interesting. Disturbing. Yeah, it was the video was kind of interesting until I got almost to the end and that part came up. I mean, it has a lot of interesting things in it about a certain type of rune, a certain type of language that it starts out with that, an alphabet, so to speak. The like Rus, R-U-S, and it gets into Aryan, so it's kind of like tied into that, but it's not. And there is some of the J stuff in there, anti-J, and of course a lot of that. And but I found interesting stuff in it about how it's showing video footage of what are those slabs over in England? The slabs that are in a circle.
Oh, Stonehenge?
Yes, there's video footage of Stonehenge being put together. So Stonehenge is not the ancient
I heard
thing
that they replaced it with concrete. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that this is the replacement. It kind of looks like they are building it. So I don't know, John, but a lot of our ancient structures and I mean, you see people like Paul Cook and all these other people and the things that they go look at, and you can see that there is a facade over things. There'll be something made of brick and then it has a facade over it to make it look old.
Yeah.
So, it's almost like, what is the truth,
Yeah. or the depths of the foundations of some of things,
Right. I mean, we do obviously have some ancient structures, but then they've made some that they're putting off to us are ancient, but they aren't really. So, I mean, it had a lot of interesting like that in the video, but
yeah,
I was horrified when I got to the end. I mean, I literally was almost ill. I became very nauseous after that part. I just was like horrified. So
yeah, absolutely. Did you think you got any value out of the first part of it? Or
I was okay with the first part. I don't like videos that are mostly just visuals and you have to sit there glued to the screen, because I think
it's all preparing your body to get ready to eat fetuses, apparently. Right?
Yeah, I almost feel like that's NLP, like it's neuro-linguistic programming. You know what I'm saying? Whenever there's no verbiage, no actual talking, and it's all visuals. So in any case, I was like, okay, great, fabulous. Good thing there's only one video of this guy's stuff that's available anymore, because, whatever. I don't know what his other videos were like.
Yeah, I don't think I would venture too much further. It sounds like pretty.
I was interested in the language that it was talking about in the beginning, and I'm going to research that further, but it's almost kind of like so obscure. I'm
Yeah.
having trouble finding it because you know how that is. They don't want you to find it. You know, there is a really famous guitar player. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. His name is Estes Ton. Fabulous guitar player. Almost magical watching him. And I use that word magical for a reason. Well, you know, it's very entrancing. So, you know, I watched him and I subscribed for a while. And then someone says, well, his parents are, you know, those kind of people. So I go online and I type in Estes Ton parents. Do you want to know? There's not one shred of anything online about his parents. It's like they don't exist. It's like they've just been wiped off where you
That's
have.
legitimate, eh? Wow.
Yeah, so it's like they don't want you to know whose parents are. It's all been wiped. It's all nothing you're ever going to see. So I thought, wow, isn't that handy that there's nothing whatsoever on there about his parents that I could find, you know? And so I unsubscribed because I'm like, I'm just sick of the, you know, the bullshit, you know, jack with your brain shit, you know?
Yeah. We know that they'll tell you 100 truths and then tell you one lie, you know?
Yeah.
And get you to believe the lie.
Estes Ton is a very talented person, you know, and the thing was somehow Santos Bonacci was at this small event and Estes Ton was there playing for Santos Bonacci and a select little group of people. And, you know, I know all this stuff has gone on about Santos Bonacci. I still think that his previous works have value, his life works.
Oh, definitely, yes. Yes, I agree.
But, you know, and then I think about this, and I saw, when I saw that, I was like, how in the world did Santos Bonacci and this small group of people, how did they swing getting Estes Ton to personally play for them at this little dinner place?
So he's like a Kabbalist, eh?
Because he is big, you know.
Yeah.
He's big. He's not some little, he's big. And I'm like, I don't, and then I later found out about the parent thing, and then I'm like, okay, so his parents just don't even exist.
Yeah. You know, his sad guru there, look at him. He doesn't want more people more souls on the planet. He wants less, you know? He's all for the agenda, you know?
I don't like that guy. I didn't
watch
like
out for
him.
these. Yeah, and they're all going to try to pull you eventually to that coexist, the one world religion.
Yeah, I did not like that Sadhguru prior to that. And, you know, there's a guy on YouTube called The Singularity. And I see him on somebody's channel the other day. And I'm like, but do people realize do people know what the singularity is? Do they even realize what that is? I don't think they do.
But no, I don't think they do.
But it's AI.
The
moment where we leave the corporeal
body,
yeah,
into the machine.
Into the machine, the ghost. We become the ghost.
And I'm like, all these people are worshiping this person and really looking up to him, and I'm like, but use your brain. What is that?
It's a soul eater. It's
anyway,
a soul eater.
Don't get me started.
The Chinese
oh no, I saw it. It looked like Moloch, and it was black, and it had an extending lower body of black that looks like that monolith from 2001, because it's actually taking the energy, the choice, the soul right from the beings themselves into itself and using it to become more powerful. It's a
The Chinese want to harness the soul for a power source. So
yes,
they've been working on that for a long time now.
In order to manifest whatever, almost. Oh my goodness, they have it in Neverending Story too. It's very poorly presented in a a very shrouded attempt at commercialism.
Yeah.
You know, except they were stealing the dreams out of the children's minds.
Oh.
Oh yeah, they had a machine for extraction and everything. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, Neverending Story 2 is the other half. I have it here with me. The Neverending Story. Like,
Hey, Morgan.
Nice.
yeah.
I haven't seen the second one. I've seen the first one. Hi, Tony. Glad you're back.
Hey, Crystal.
Wow. Yeah. I don't want to be in the metaverse forever. Apparently, it's very disorienting.
I'm sure.
But trapping your soul for a power source, or that's a good way to do it. Come live in the metaverse. We'll let you live forever. And then your
Death
friends
has a
just start
bad
dropping
rap.
off. My friend just started. I don't know where my friends went. They just went away. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but fear, right?
Well,
Fear ruins people, ruins them. Fear, because fear manifests into hate inside of your soul, because you can't help but resent that which masters you, which is what you fear. And in the same way, if you don't fear something but you hate it, you will begin to fear it because you don't want to see it, and therefore other people will be like, "You hate that thing, don't you? So it's got you, ha ha ha." You must release from the hate. Like, unless you want to be its
The
bitch.
lawnmower. Oh, the lawnmower man. There we go. There's a good one too.
Oh
The
yes,
lawnmower.
yes, brilliant. Who is
Yeah.
it? Smoking in G sharp.
Yeah.
Nice head.
Mm-hmm. Predictive programming for us, getting us to want to go into the machine.
Yeah.
I think a lot of young people do think that it's going to be a great idea, and although, like I was showing at the beginning of the show, they're pushing back now. They're starting to realize what's going on. And once they find one problem, they'll find others. So that's just up the road from me here in Canada that they're having that school protest. So proud of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Loretta.
Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go.
All right.
Morgan, John, love you. See y'all later.
Love you too. Thanks for coming by, Crystal.
All right.
That was interesting, that story. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you in that other place the link, and I'll try to go back down into the chat.
Okay.
I'm kind of losing my voice now, so I'm going to go ahead and go. I'll see y'all later.
Right.
Love you.
Now you take care of yourself. Love and healing to you, hon.
Yeah. Angels. I spoke to angels as a child. That's the only friends I had when I was 5. When I was like 2 and abused, okay, like, and then in my room and alone, a light, an energy would come to me, a light, a presence, and it would feel like the morning sunrise at night, and it would come into my heart, and it would say, "I am this thing, like life. I'm real, and this is what it is." And I'm
More of a
sorry.
feeling, though, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, never a voice. Yeah, it just exactly. It felt like truth, just warm truth.
Just a light coming on, warmth.
Yeah, and instead of it feeling hopeless and kill yourself, it didn't tell me that. Some people, that's what happens. I didn't experience. You know what I mean? I had a warm thing saying, "This is the reality of where you are," and that is the condition of men.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking in my heart, please don't let it change who I am, because I remember loving the sun, like, and loving the summer day and the grass on my feet, and think I love being alive.
Yeah. In the worst of times, you should remember, what there is to live for, because, and I was the same when I was young. I had a pretty hard youth. So, looking at the light, having the light in you. Like, I would go for walks and just let the light come into me. let it all go and reset. And it was actually it was the Bible that taught me that, because I was in the church at the time, and having the forgiveness really helped. It didn't always stick. I didn't always forgive, but at least for a few moments, I was able to and free myself.
Yes, it frees. Yes, the grip.
Yeah.
Exactly. The grip, the muscle binding, because anger physically shuts you down.
Yep.
And then psychologically, it burns a bridge, of course. And then and the bridge is a thing that needs to be corrected to apply medicine and aloe, the oil of kindness, of human kindness to the other person and yourself, which you have the power to deliver. Like, as an example, you know what I mean? Like, the other person, you have a choice to go ask them if they want to fight or smoke a doobie. And then you might think to yourself, oh, but this is really good stuff. What is that? It's a righteous, not fear, but it's you thinking, I think it's you looking at nature and going, but this is serious stuff. It's like, I will share it with my brother. You know that feeling when you were younger, and then you go smoke it with somebody, and they're like, cool, that was enough for us each to know that nature can go whack, whack, and bear claws anytime it wants. Bear claw means you take some shrooms and it really hits you hard. So you're bear clawed, naturally taken out. I think it's a good way to say I'm stoned. When your eyes go from that small to that saucers, people go, you're pie-eyed. You're pie, man. And the other thing about being pie-eyed is you are letting in all the light.
Very true. Yeah.
And that is a reason why before we ask, when I do the thing, I'm speaking to what I consider the Holy Spirit. I'm in contact with it. So when I'm doing the thing, people are like, aren't that a part of the scripture that says this, that, and the other thing? And I go, I'm here, and Max has to honestly choose something before I can honestly see it. Meaning, if he's lying, there'll be a problem. And I'll be like, how come I don't see anything? And when people are actually doing this correctly, the people will say that. Like, there's something wrong with the image if somebody lied. You know what I mean? It's like, I didn't actually pick an image.
Yeah.
Watch and see what happens to the remote viewers, right?
Yeah.
And the remote viewers will mostly come back saying, you didn't pick one, idiot. Nice joke.
Yeah.
They won't call you an idiot, but you know what I mean? They'll know something's up, because they'll be like, I have an image, but how come, but it's not an image. What's going on? And they'll write it down. Like, some will even write down, it's an image, but it's not what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you didn't actually pick an image, and you wanted to see what happens if I fire the gun without there being a round in it, and they'll usually know. Just saying it,
Yeah.
About the connection between myself and the Holy Spirit inside, and meaning what I feel the Holy Spirit is reality, the truth.
What do you think of the divine feminine and the divine masculine? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, everything in psychosphere naturally goes in this masculine feminine dance in nature. We breathe in and then we breathe out, and the plant itself is masculine and feminine. And in nature, everything that divides human beings, masculine and feminine, the heat of the light of the sun versus the coolness of the moon, and the two of them together causes the water and the light in this realm to do its thing, because water and light, I'm beginning each day to say water and light are love. Like I've just been saying it, water and light, because before the line was said, I see it and it's good. It's like, well, what's going on? I said, well, there's water. Okay. And my spirit's above the face of the water, that which
Well, then there's salt water and fresh waters.
Yeah. And
The
You know that
duality.
what happens when you add electricity to water, and then the Lord goes, unless you, my kingdom, it's like light and water. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, if you want to enter it, yeah. It's like, what do you mean? It's like the kingdom of light, right? The kingdom of feeling. He's like, exactly. Feeling. Electric. He's like, you need to go through, and it's like light. And it's like water. And the thing is, it's the water element that I don't think people play. I used to watch Star Wars, and the scene where they were in the garbage chute, I always became very physically aware, the physics of the fact that it didn't matter that it was the strongest thing muscularly I could think of in my mind, which was the power of the Death Star closing in on them. And I thought to myself, how come it can't close? Oh, it's this, that, and then they put the bar. I go, water. And I remember they go, well, ultimately, you can't crush water. It doesn't matter the mechanism of the iron of the cogs. It wouldn't matter if they're the size of the entire galaxy. If there's an inch of God, nothing's gonna happen, man. H2O, and it's
Good
like, all right,
perspective.
like it's like elements, and I'm thinking to myself, spiritually, like there's noble gases, and they call them noble, but I just mean elementally. Like when hot and cold, heat and cold, and then there's that divinity, the spirit, and then where they meet. Now that's a specific singularity, but I'm speaking of it as a human being trying to connect the mind, body, and soul within. I'm not trying to build an Atari. I'm not trying to build an avatar outside of myself, because I'm afraid to die the one death that life has for me. I just don't consider it negative or anything to be afraid of, because that which gave me life, that which I see, this entire miracle all around me, holds my consciousness and knows that in the same way it gave me life, that I'm coming to a point where that's going to change. And in the same way life was a gift and a miracle, therefore that's what I have to go off of.
What do you think of this?
No reason to fear him or it.
Toxic masculinity is one of the most evil terms I have ever heard.
What do you think
There's
of
no
this?
such thing as toxic masculinity. There's literally toxic individuals. What it means to be a man is now being branded as toxic, whether it's being competitive,
They're using toxic
aggressive. We are
masculinity
now
as their
teaching
words as
boys
a weapon.
and men to be softer. They're trying to turn men into women, and I think the reason they want to do this is because it's the men that go to war. It's the men that fight tyranny. It's not
That's why I'm
women.
wondering
We're
about the
emotionally
divine
not
feminine
resilient
being
or even
pushed
physically
in spiritual
fit enough
circles,
to fight
right?
the powers that be. It's the men that do that. So when the men are feminized,
Do you
the
see a link
government,
there?
those in charge, can get away with whatever the hell they want to get away with.
Oh, right. Oh, I understand that, because they want to take away my own will. Like that, and what your own will is what other people would call a dick. Meaning, when I say, no, this is what's going to happen, and you're just going to listen to me now. Because, now in my case, right? Listen to this. Because I love you and I care about you, but I actually have to. Now, when I say to people, qualify yourself to touch another human being, I say, you need to care about that person, or you have no right touching them. And that's, and the thing is, like, I get these things from that spirit inside me, right? And it says, that's right, Morgan. Nobody else, unless you truly care about that person, and it's like, now somebody could say, what if they're a slave and they're just obeying me, but they don't actually care about the person, but they're more scared about, and it's like, whatever. There's still you still trust them enough to ask them to do the task, and, so there's a lot of different angles, but yeah. I don't want
So
to
talking about a lot of spacecraft here in chat. Have you seen spacecraft? I have not. I might have seen one when I was very young, about 7 or 8. But other than that, no.
You've never willed them? Like, I'm being serious here.
I've tried
Have you
to.
ever called the
I've tried
ships
to.
the light? Okay. because a lot of us practiced it when we were
when I was younger. Yeah.
And I can say this, like, because I'm honest to the spirit. There's a lot of us who would sit by the window and call them.
Yeah,
and
a lot
they
of people are
come,
saying that now.
and they come. And the thing is that they honestly do nothing like Disney's, you know what I mean, like Pandemonium, or like the shows in the evening, like the light shows. They do small, like, well, for me, they do small things where they'll show up, they'll move, you know, they'll split into two, they'll split into three, they'll do a thing. But like, if I've always wanted them to do the honey drop, the dewdrop of fractals. No, I didn't get any of that, but I did get the light. I would get the.
I've seen a lot of. There was a great video series,
like a shining dot, and it would show up, and it'd be other dots that would show up with it. You could do that.
Yeah, those dots. There was a great video series I watched that showed that those dots were coming up into star patterns, mostly Orion.
Okay.
If you were on the right perspective. So this guy was interpreting it as speech. They were trying to talk to us through these orbs and such, and the splitting of the craft.
Oh, that could make absolute sense that they're out there. Like, and if you just think of a graph going, like an equalizer. And honestly, like, and this is sometimes that people don't think of. Just total honesty. Go to your mind as if it's a child, and then go to the astral plane, or just go to the place up here, what you would consider radio waves, and just think of it as the minds and minds of other beings too. And anybody who's willing to switch on, understanding it requires actual faith, meaning you can't fake it. The button to switch on to contact is the one where you go, I believe I can contact you. And you can't fake it. So that's why people keep on wondering.
So they'll get orbs and other things. They won't
when
get.
You believe,
they won't get any of the TR3Bs. Won't come by.
No, you can't. You can't. I mean, okay, some people can call grays, but it doesn't happen like that. And I've never heard of it happening like that. But it just be. Side things happen to some people that begin calling craft, but it's not because I was calling craft and then some gray show the fuck up. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, if people wonder, oh, should I be scared because I was doing the thing? No. Like, if people wonder, will you be visited by grays because, and it's like, no. Especially if you want it to happen. So if you're sitting there thinking, how can I get with the fucking, never.
Yeah, I always thought, like, if I wanted to contact them, I'd probably have to go out of the city because I'm in the middle of a city. There are some wooded areas, but they're mostly occupied right now by the homeless. So
you would have to.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's to be visited by friendlies.
They won't come to my window, you think? I'm on the 11th floor, so they could just kind of come down to the top of the building and over the edge.
Possibly.
I don't know if others would see them. Do they worry about other people seeing them or not?
Oh, wait. Like, it can happen, except something has to happen. While they're doing their thing, right? That's how come whenever somebody does see them, it's always like, oh, what the hell? You can actually see me? Boom, boom. And then they do the head thing. Well, now first what they're going to do is they're just going to do the thing that people talk about when they get close to craft. I'm confused. It's like, okay, well, that's amnesia juice. Within the craft, it's just a thing for Nephilim mind. Like the whole angel thing, God thing, it's all real. But their minds. Just imagine torque. I'm serious. Torque on the axle shaft of a car that makes it go when you go like this. And it's like, oh, we need more torque. Meaning I need to be able to honestly get more torque. Just stress on the part. So the ships are held. Oh, tension. You guys know it as tension. Okay. Those craft have what is known as the controller that you know of, remote control between a TV and its thing and its signal. Okay. In the craft, it's mental. All right. So because of that, the mind-mental connection of just the controller is what frigs up people's minds. I'm serious. Because it's not, oh, here, you know, it's just a field coming from the ship. Now, if you're close to it, it's going to frig your mind up because of the tension. because of the connection. It's basically like your mind hit a magnet, and the same damn thing that happens to a computer happens to your brain. Thank you. See, my brain does a thing where it keeps buffering because I'm listening, not making the shit up, or like, you know what I mean? So, like, once I say something, it's like, okay, now you got that much information. Now you're gonna be able to work with that information. You close, but yeah, so it's magnet. It's like it'll wipe your brain, and that's how come people that come in contact with a ship, they'll either die or they'll. What happened to your mind? I don't have one. It's gone. It etch-a-sketched it. It's just what happens when you get too much tension. Because if you think about it, your mind splits if it's like from trauma or whatever. Okay, well, it's not from trauma. It's just tension, just sheer tension. Your brain just goes, I'm out of here. And I'll come back when this is gone, when the pressure is gone. So it's just too much pressure. You get it. You guys get it. It's like, yeah, it's meant for a Nephilim's mind. Just imagine the scene from Time Machine where they show the guy in 1,000 years of evolution, right? We could take away the time factor. Oh, this many times. It's like, okay, just imagine they put him in the thing and birthed them in the homunculus, and did it really quick and cloned him 1,000,000 times quick. Okay, you get the same thing. You get a creature with its brain ready to move shit in reality because of heat and cold and direction, and because of the amplification of the crystals in the walls, in the structure. You just have to get it in the right mountainside. Like, yeah, I'm serious. Now, I said mountainside, but it's not mountainside. You just set it up from the sea. You take the glass and you heat it. You take the sand and you heat it. You put it up on the sides. And and you can do anything in it. Like, you get it. Like, with your mind. And yeah. And it's real.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's real hologram. Because the only thing you can't do is make an actual soul.
Sounds like Scotty Boy. Sounds like splintering the soul with the mind with the trauma.
Yeah,
No,
fractalization of the soul.
bit.
Yes, exactly, man. You got it.
Yeah. Weird. So here's this video that Crystal Shaman sent me. To unlock the 7 keys, this program of nutrition called 7 Keys of the Rainbow. In the process, from human will come out all the shit that was stored inside. We will lose almost all pigment from skin and all pigment from hair and become blonde. Sexual characteristics will be reduced to the process of urination and will vanish at all. Recipients will be sharp and the will seem slow. I don't know. And time will seem slow. Okay. Or fast. Okay, either or. Person will control it. Pain, aging from hormones, and natural death from hormones will fade away. Okay. So that's bizarre and weird. So your hormones and everything will wither away. Oh, your hormones, and you become some androgynous gray white-haired being or something. I guess because meat's kind of grayish.
Yeah, like check out this on my foot, eh? Look at that.
Oh, don't show us that.
That hurts.
Don't show us that. You're gonna get you're gonna get banned. You keep doing that. John back in the chat. Yeah. What's that, Crystal?
But no, it's like I got the stuff for it though. You know what I mean?
Timestamp is 1:45:51. Okay. 1:40. Oh, I'm almost there.
But yeah, there's a video to go with this, right?
Huh?
There's a video to go with this, right?
What do you mean? This is a video.
Okay, cool. I didn't realize it was playing. Sorry.
So they're starting in the 7 Keys of the Rainbow, orange color, first step. You can eat anything from that step where you are now. Lower patterns. Let's pause this a little bit. We'll get a little bit more of it. Green color, third step, fruit and okay, we're already into fetus. Okay, let's see where we start into the fetus parts.
Don't be so defeatist.
Yeah.
A defeatist attitude.
Avoid the red colors. So start avoiding all these foods. All kind of corpse material, all organic, of animal origin, mushrooms and yeast, bread, alcohol, milk, eggs, animal protein, fish. So get rid of all that stuff first.
Red dye, number 9. You did know, right?
So let's see, orange color. You can be eating from that step where you are now, but it's not allowed from the previous steps. You still can't eat meat. No. So, for example, if you are on yellow, you can eat from green, azure, and blue, but you can't eat from orange. Okay, so once you get up to a level, you can't go back down. So in this color, all kinds of nuts, soybean. Oh, there's soy in you out. Wow. Cereals, grains, and glyphosate. Nice. Potatoes and beets. Okay. So this is the first step. Orange first step. You skip red. You don't do red at all. Yellow color, vegetables, all kinds of vegetables, oils, vegetable juice. Oh yeah, get some of that good, get some good Crisco in you. Berries and all kinds of it. Okay. Oh, okay. Third step, we get into the fetus. The fruit in this color, fruit and fetus. Try to shred and make juice. Oh, yum. So you're supposed to shred the fetus and make it into juice. Try to grow on materials without soil and feces. This is core where you can stay for the whole lifetime of your temporary physical avatar body. Okay, so if you just eat fruit and fetuses, you'll stay in the physical corporeal world as it is right now. Okay, that's good to know. Good information. This when you get to Azure, okay, so you need dried fruits and fetuses and tested green tea with mint. Okay.
Sugar in water.
Okay,
Give me
yum.
sugar in water.
This is the last step that you can do at home. I will show you the next two keys, but remember, do not try this alone. They will not help you without lab devices, without medical persons and medical packs. Oh my God.
There come the man in black. Is it a demon or an interdimensional?
So in
or
step
is it an
3,
alien?
if we just eat fruits and fetuses, we can pretty much live forever, they claim. So
Yeah, I mean,
crystallized honey, oh nice, and medical alcohol spirits, and that'd be good for some. You're definitely sugarizing there.
yeah.
Purple color glucose powder. Okay, this sounds wonderful.
Oh yeah. They're getting down to it,
clean
bud.
water, electrically charged. Hunger on this tip. You do not need food. You fully control your own body and spend. Well, you can do that for a while, maybe. Let's see. Do not try this alone, blah, blah. Let's see, what's the 7th step? 1 step is equal to a full circle of the moon, except Azure. This one is half of the cycle.
Brings a whole new meaning.
Every eaten product will bring you to its step. If you eat red on green, you are thrown back on red. And your next cycle will be orange step, but you can freely eat all products from the further step. Okay, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Last of the summer wine.
Oh, that's so it's going to help you throw away addictions. Okay. Oh, wow. Nutrition.
That's why they call it wine.
Performance program, cradle reverse of the chimeric DNA that was mutated by so-called gods. Okay. Even only 5 keys will help you to get out of the informational matrix. Well, I don't know. I think enlightenment might do that, and will help you to reduce influence on the first and not on the first layer of destiny, biological complex, Holy Spirit. Wow, word
You just
salad.
stole what I said earlier. I don't believe in time.
But they put it in a nice word salad. So
They did, didn't they? Didn't they? I thought I was a bit more practical with it.
yeah, this program was designed for every people with strength of will, any nation, any gender, any place of living. Oh, you just have to get rid of, just have to find yourself a good source of fetuses and fruit, fresh fruit.
I have the whatever to cover that. The medical court case to cover where they got all the fetuses. Oh, I've got them sitting in the chair in the court. So you were working with millions and millions. Oh yeah. We just use the Spanish as babies. Yeah, in Spain and in Brazil, we did that.
Just eat the purple.
I've got the court case right where the guy is saying what they did. Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty's got it here. He won't eat the unorganic fetuses. I only want the organic one. You know.
Yeah.
With tapioca.
Yeah. What are the other ones that they wanted? Viable, right? Viable. Then people were wondering, oh well, they were. This is what Baptists like to tell themselves. Oh well, they were ones that were going to be harmed. They had to be. No, they were viable. They had to be because it had to be collected from a viable fetus. So
well, for this diet, Loretta, they have to be human fetuses, Loretta, because you're supposedly changing your DNA back to its core by eating fetuses that don't have the same DNA as you.
Yes.
Makes no sense.
No, it's almost it's almost the concept of the fecal coliform.
Unless you can breed your own,
but without the sense, like even the sense that there is in that, putting the fecal, like in order to get the bacterium to begin the culture in you too.
Well, what if you did like Epstein did and made your own fetuses, right? You could have an island with a bunch of women.
I've seen the movie for that, by the way, like the corresponding movie, meaning it's a known thing to do. Well, they said it too, right? To set up the thing with the fetuses,
right?
To eat them and that, like it's a known thing.
Well, even if they just grow a bunch of kids, they could use their blood to rejuvenate themselves too.
Yes.
You know, with compatible blood for sure. You know.
Yeah, the dark thing behind everything is the factory. The rows and rows of people in the thing hooked up to the thing. Like that's the thing that everybody's got in there. Like, there are horrors worse than that too, but it's part of it, right? Like where people are like, are there the places with the rows and rows of people like cattle in the... Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that people need to understand is happening because there are vampires. There always have been.
Certainly.
Like cannibals, like, dead that are still living, but they're dead, but they still live. Because they're using energy that the kind in the movie Star Wars, it's the other kind.
Mm-hmm.
And they use it to stay alive.
Right.
Except someone else would say, but they're not alive. That's right. They're the living dead. They're Nosferatu and Dracul. And then people are like, wait, that's actually what they say, isn't it? It's the actual story. Yes.
And that's a big ruse too, right? Because we know being evil, bad, and angry is going to make you sick.
Yes.
You're going to have a shortened life.
Yes.
You're not going to achieve immortality by being evil.
No, you're going to die of cortisol poisoning.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Look at Schwab and all those guys. They're all so swollen. Their eyes are fucking puffy, their faces.
And I imagine, you know it too, they fear death. It is not their longtime friend coming to take them by the hand to say,
it's time.
The master's called you home, or just love.
Yeah.
Love is here.
Yeah.
And has always been. My friend,
hey,
I am here. You get what I'm saying? It's the difference of the river Styx of you, like, oh no, the boatman, or being like, right on, the boatman's here, and the boatman being, yeah. And then people going, how come the boatman was cool to you, but not cool to me? Well, you walked up to the boatman in your mind with all this fear and judgment and confusion. I didn't. I walked on with him with respect and peace. So that's what I was gotten back.
Yeah.
Because this is your mind and you're inside it.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Christos. How you doing? Good to see you. Well, we're having an interesting discussion. I like it. Crystal Shaman brought up an interesting thing where they're eating fetuses. to stay young, to return themselves to a original purified DNA, where they become little gremlin monsters with no skin pigment, gray hair, and probably translucent, like grays.
Oh yeah,
Guess they
yes.
think that that's the
Or what do you
key to
think Kim's
immortality.
looking like? How old's Kim? 50, 40? How does she actually look?
Kim who?
Kardashian. How
Oh,
does she look if you take out the stuff and the plastic
I don't
and you
know.
let they start looking
She
like a
looked pretty
gray,
saggy. She looked
a,
pretty
t-
saggy at the
a
moment.
taller gray? Give it another 100 years,
Oh yeah.
and they look almost exactly like an older gray. And the skin starts
Interesting.
pulling. It's crazy, man.
Oh yeah, like what's her name? Madonna apparently had an illness.
Yes,
I
Madonna's
I
going
actually haven't
quick.
seen that. Let me see that. I haven't looked at that.
Please.
Let's see Madonna
You see
here.
the structure because she keeps on casting spell. Forgive me, anybody. That, like, Madonna continues to burn her essence by casting spells on other people, knowing that it's taking from her. She just keeps eating her own life force, and
I
now it
haven't
looks like
seen.
she owes.
Okay.
Like, she's written checks her butt can't cash, and it looks like she's just becoming the joke of the demons, but they still are each like, yeah, but
Is that her now? Oh yeah.
yeah, like,
Wow.
the point being, when these demonic creatures let
Do you know? Did you ever see the video with the demon-looking creature going through the Vatican on a carnival day?
yeah, I believe it's in my mind. I see it. But I see the dancing. I
But you
see the
can see it,
movement.
the pulled back face and the clown, like
Yeah. Oh, I've got it. I've
wow.
got it. I've got the horn structure. I've got the. I'm right in the nave right now.
Do you guys remember that video that he was dressed in red, he was being a demon, but
Yes,
he
I've got
looked
it.
like he was a real freaking demon,
Yes,
you
I
know?
have it.
And that face is starting to look like it. Puffy.
Yes.
He had puffy cheeks and a weird smile, and the eyes starting to look like it, very puffy and the drawn back eyes.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Yes. Yes, because those features. In
oh yeah.
the animals that are, I forget what the name is, carnivorous. Yes, animals. That in the Old Testament were considered like unclean. It was because they ate their own. So he made them look ugly.
Demonic and weird, yeah.
And
The
did not
giants too
possess.
looked weird. That could be a reason the giants look so odd, because many of them were distorted in shape,
Yes.
and all they ate was little ones.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Little versions of themselves.
Twisted, screaming little cells dividing
Wow.
like that.
Yeah, it goes all the way back in history.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, that looks exactly like that demon creature that the video showed going
Yes.
through the Vatican.
Yes, because they mimic each other.
The same puffy face, like it had a puffy face, a pointy chin.
The physical mimics the spiritual
Look at her.
happenings.
See her
That's what you're
jaws.
saying. That's what we're
Her
saying.
jaw's kind of disappearing.
The
And
jaw is gone.
And it's pointing now.
Yes,
pointy on the end.
exactly. The nose will begin to, because of its hollowness and losing it, will begin to point.
Yeah,
as the thief
inside,
or the one who is crafty.
Wow.
It happens because of the nostril being sucked. You know what I'm saying? Because of the sucking, the nose becomes thinner.
From sniffing all the heads, right? Sniffing got to sniff all the heads.
Yes. Because the word is hag. Hag.
Yeah. Joe's turning into a ghoul as well.
Yes, ghoul. Ghoul is good as well. Ghoul and hag for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't this ironic for the woman who was to be the material girl is now materials falling apart. She
Or
can't
maybe
hold her
maybe they
form.
think it's just the evolution.
Yeah, it is, isn't it though?
Right?
Things
They
fall
prob-
apart. It's scientific. Yeah, wild,
Part of
wild
the
life.
program.
She's living wild, wild life. Huh.
We were born like our parents. We die looking like our decisions. That's a good one, G.
Yes, who said, oh my.
Exactly. That's
Oh
nice.
my. Very.
That's very well said. Yeah.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they did the twin experiments, right, to see what different lifestyles would result in.
The word of God says that
Yeah.
we wear our choices in the
Yeah.
afterlife. It's your God, and it makes sense, right?
Yeah. Well, they're an imprint on your ego, which
Yeah.
is what carries over.
Yeah, and character is the reward, and it makes sense that depth of character in one's story, in one's everything.
Sean Penn.
Oh, Sean Penn.
I haven't even seen the Kardashians recently. I don't even know what they look like.
Oh,
Let's see.
full on witches.
Kim
Meaning that are casting spells, like actively, like freely, that are freely having access to fetuses. And I'm not making any type of a joke there. I think that they have free access to the fetus, and they are feasting right now. They are feasting because of the time of year as well. They are supposed to be feasting, for it is feasting days, and they shall be feasting and sacrificing for a month or two. At least.
Yeah, how old is she now?
Forgive
though?
me for the laughter.
How old is Kim Kardashian now? 50s?
I was saying I thought she was my age, 46, 45.
Okay.
Now I imagine it's going to say up there that she's probably 39 and not a day older, or they're all going to die. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. I think she'll
42.
probably
She's 42.
Oh, it's telling the truth. Okay. I thought she would have had to stop at 39 and
It's all right. I don't know how
39
much. I don't know how much facelift she's had. I don't remember. I have literally no idea.
Like,
she looks all right.
She has access to the collagen, everything. Like she can do whatever she
the lips
wants.
are kind of huge,
but
she
eats,
that's not totally unseen.
Yeah, you know what I was just about to say without even thinking about about the information that I was about to say. Okay, without thinking about what we just learned in that. Well, the only other thing that I see her eat is like raw strawberries, and those were going to be the next words out of my mouth. In honesty, in the honest flow of everything, I was going to state, but the food that she eats, that I've seen her eat, is all
There's crystals.
Fruit, raw fruit.
Yeah.
And that's all that I've actually seen her put in her body.
Oh my God. That fits perfectly with Crystal Shaman's video. Raw fruit and fetuses.
And I meant it naturally. That's why I just made this little big I've been going on, because in my brain I was about to state naturally because of her skin and everything. I was
I'd like to welcome to the panel Christos Diopoulos. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I think that because I was going to say her diet just consists of, wow, man, raw fruit. Watch the shows, brother. It's all you'll see.
Boom.
And you guys know, remember the episode where it was all of a sudden it was brought up? I think witchery too. The big bowl of fruit that's there every day, and every day the maids are ordered to make sure it's stacked all the way to the freaking top. And they joke, what do you do? Eat this whole bowl of fruit every day? And I was like, oh my God, it's all coming back, brother.
Wow.
And when I started talking about this even a moment ago, that's why I said earlier, like when I start thinking things, other stuff comes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There's a whole line. You get it. Yeah. It's a theme. Raw fruit and the Kardashians. It's all Kim eats.
It's all fitting together there.
And placenta. and fetuses. That she's
Yeah.
pretty much open about that. Oh wow! It's the only thing I've seen her eat is raw fruit, and then herself speaking about eating baby.
Yeah.
Very good, Crystal
I haven't
Shaman.
seen that.
It's see the difference with other is that back in the day, the things would connect, but not like keep
Mhm.
connecting until it's right there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's right in front of us. That is what they're doing. But that is because 10 years ago, if you had taken someone to today and shown them the drag queen, which they're not drag queens, they're just naked men who have had bottom and top surgeries dancing for children. Naked.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on. And performing lewd sexual acts and encouraging them. And that's how come people are getting into fist fights and almost getting shot and killed. I don't know if anybody's died yet at one of these events,
Mm-hmm.
but we're getting there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we're having violence up here at these events. Not
Yeah,
shootings,
violence is
but
happening.
a lot of violence.
Like
Illusions they were fed to stay young, big lies corrupts your soul to the core. In the end, they go down, or in the end, they don't go far from
like,
here, even in death. Yeah.
does anybody remember even the beauty of like the movies and watching somebody grow old naturally, like more
Oh
Asian?
God. Placenta omelets. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yes. Placenta omelets. That's what she said. Yeah. More egg, by the way. That's still
Yeah.
fetus. So that's so yeah. Still keeping with the theme of only eating raw fruit and fetus.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. Wow.
Oh
man.
wow.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I don't think I wouldn't think that it's all like rule of thumb, but I bet it's a lot more than we would think. That comment that you just showed.
Hey, D Ocean, how you doing? Absolutely. So what do you think? Well, what's her name died for saying that comedian lady died for saying Michelle Obama was Michael. Everybody knows that. It's not a secret.
Oh
and then
yeah.
she went away. I'm forgetting her name recently. Can't remember what her name was.
I can't. I cannot. Hey, Max, imagine if I know. Like I'm just saying. Imagine if that too, right? They did that, like with a little bit of magic too, right? Like just forget her name. Forget her
Wasn't
name.
it
You really didn't
Joanne or
know it
something?
anyway.
Joan
Somebody-
Rivers. Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers,
Thank
yep.
you. Yeah, that's it. Triggered me.
Can
Nice.
we talk? Yes. And her daughter. Her daughter's still alive though.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember they would do those shows together at one point. They started doing the critique, the fashion critique together. Of
Yeah.
the 10 best
Yes.
dressed people of the year, and then at the Oscars and
But
whatnot.
Joan Rivers was a comedian. She used to do stand up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember when she had the talk show, man.
Yeah.
Remember, I remember the talk show. And that was, I think it was 1984 or 85. Same year Pat Sajak got his. Wheel of Fortune was doing good. He only had it for like a few. I don't even think it went 9.
So do
I
you think Joan
6
Rivers'
months.
daughter sold out to the system? Like you think she's
I
going
think she would
along?
have had to have.
Going along to get along?
You
know?
Like
Probably.
I think
Like
so, because I have a few friends that say
What's her?
that will
That's it.
say
Melissa
if they're
Rivers.
in, they
That's
are. If they're in, they are. And I
Let's
keep
take a
going,
look at.
so?
I know she had a pretty sharp.
Prison
sharp
intellect or
yeah.
wit, repertoire, yeah,
Let's see,
banter.
let's share her image out. See
Yeah,
what
yeah.
See what
I
our
don't think that's
intuition says about this woman. Okay, let's see some images of her, recent ones.
Wow, really looking like There's another woman comedian.
Well, there she is with Joan when Joan was alive.
Wow. Yeah, there's a woman who had her own talk show and everything who's single.
Yeah.
And she looks a lot like her. Carrie something or I can't remember, but
I don't know. There she is with
Wow.
the Hollywood elites.
yeah, I believe she's
So
Rivers. Yeah.
she's probably in the club. Wonder if
Yeah.
she's on the all fruit fetus diet.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, it would make sense because look at
Oh.
her. Like, I shouldn't just say that. I shouldn't say that. But I mean, she's got that alien
Does
look.
anyone know if okay. Oh, nip and tuck, Melissa Rivers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's was my question, was is she doing the nip and tuck? And yeah, apparently she is. So
like graying it up.
yeah, she's graying
Getting
it
there.
up.
Oh yeah, like I mean, wow.
Yeah, look
man.
at even the skin tone too. Like
Yeah. Like
back she had some pinkish color, and here she's just white with rouge on top.
yes, yeah. I can't believe how bad they all look when you get up close, eh? Like,
yeah. Yeah. I used to, when I was young, I was amazed at that because we went to a few concerts and stuff, and I saw politicians when I was young. And yeah, they look creepy and they smell weird.
yes. Oh no,
that's what I thought as a kid. That was my thoughts as a kid. They look creepy and they smell weird.
Yeah, no, my dad brought me around them. Yeah, I would be around. Yes,
You know?
we even in the Parliament buildings, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I had to make them laugh and
I
stuff.
even met
my jokes.
the current prime minister. I met him walking out of the Parliament when we were there on a trip.
Yeah,
and yeah, just creepy and smell weird. Yeah,
yeah. My sister was a page. You know, they go around taking the forms to each other.
Yep.
Yeah, so we were there having lunch with her representative or whatever from Toronto. Like,
could be makeup. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of makeup.
Yeah, a lot of makeup. They look worse as they age.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda, yeah. Who was that? Melanie Griffith. She was cute when she was younger. Many of them were cute young girls.
Oh yeah, Strange World, great movie.
I didn't see that one.
Or is that? I remember the movie.
But you wonder if they're little boys now. You know.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like
did Joan Rivers ever say that she was a tranny? Hey, Mitch Gander, good to see you.
I'm not sure, but my friend Michelle lets me know that most of them are. And she's a real surgeon. Like that's what she does, and I've been watching her for years.
Yeah, a lot of people think that that's the reason. One of the reasons they're pushing the transgender agenda is because they're transgenders themselves. So they want to make the world like theirs.
Well, in the book, it says what went on for time immemorial is ladyboy temples. Okay, like when men did what men wanted. Yeah, you got it. They had ladyboy temples, and
they still have those in Taiwan, I think.
Okay, see that was the other thing I remember thinking yesterday, but I didn't get to mention it. But it was I'm mentioning it now on the show.
Somewhere in one of those southeastern countries.
Yes, it was just that in other countries and things like that, there are different kinds of behaviors that aren't no one bats an eyelash because it's always been.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is a separate and distinct part of their culture. It's not.
Yeah, that's the other thing. People during this whole entire thing don't understand.
I saw a documentary on it recently.
Fractions.
Yeah, and they were saying
of the culture.
They were trying to say that they're integrated into the culture, but they really aren't. No. They have their own area.
Yes, thank you. Exactly.
And they stay in that area. And
like in the one place where they're called the name or whatever, and they call them that, and it's like people don't understand.
Yeah,
They
it's
have
like a
their
little
own
China.
place.
It's like a little China, little Italy. They have their own little ladyboy culture.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So yeah,
Like it's like
they
people
do
don't
exist. But
understand the Riviera back because they don't read, so they don't know that in France there was all types of weirdness,
yeah,
and
in this
it
show,
was
they were
just
trying to say that it's all over the culture. It's just accepted, and it
yeah,
is, but it's not everywhere. It's
no,
off in a
exactly.
small space, like it used to be here.
Yes.
They had their clubs and that,
Yep.
and their bars and stuff, and
Yep.
now it's public libraries and schools.
Yeah. Which yeah. Wow.
I've been
Uh-huh.
looking forward every Sunday. I see that you two are on. I assume it's an open panel, but it
Oh
tends to
yeah,
be both of you guys. So
no, I put
it's
up the
become
link.
like a Sunday regular thing. I look forward to now.
Awesome. Thanks for coming up here,
Oh
Christos.
wow, man.
Yeah.
I just find it flows on Sundays with me. I I seem to have um in my week, I don't know whatever it is, but it seems to culminate, around this day.
Hmm.
Like I tend to have my mind.
But traditionally, it's not a time to work this day, so no
Yes.
physical work. But a good
Okay.
Christian must also always be busy. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, the mind.
Right. Right. So I enjoy.
And they do use this day to contact with their entities and
Yes.
you
Yes.
know
That's right. It is a ritual day.
vampirize your energy.
Yeah. No, it's the ritual. Yeah. Is it the day for the ritual sacrifice? Yeah. Well,
Yes,
this is
yes.
the day. Yes. This is the day that the Lord has made for it. Yeah. We will rejoice.
Yeah.
And why? Because the priests get to eat the food in the sacrifice. Oh, right, of course.
Yeah, let's get rid of that. Hold on, where is she? Yeah, but yeah, I would say that definitely. I don't know. I saw
Yeah.
that picture of Madonna, and that reminded me of that ghoul walking through the Vatican on the Carnival Day.
Yeah.
Just it's just a hair off, just a
Yeah.
hair off. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's like the
And
jolly old elf. I mean, I understand like with Santa and that, but I mean, when they're talking like the puffy cheeks and the whatever,
yeah,
they're supposed to be describing like Pan. I think with the cloven hooves and everything, and I think that's the
oh
cheeks.
wow,
Oh, it's supposed to represent. I'm not sure. Gluttony? Like, what is it supposed to represent?
oh,
The the they're swollen. I think swollen, right? It looks swollen.
oh yeah,
Look at
yeah. He is.
Meg, or not Meg, but this is Meg Griffin, right? Or not Griffin.
Melanie Griffith.
Melanie Griffith, right? Not Meg Ryan, but Melanie Griffith, right?
Yeah,
Oh wow. No.
and here we go with the puffy cheeks, the lack of complexion,
Yes.
and the pointy chin and the drawn eyes.
Yep. It doesn't look real, does it? But I find it easy to call it an it. Look at the body. What was it born a boy?
I don't know.
I know, that's the thing. It should be complete the other way. Direct, right? It should be no, that's a woman. No, it's a construct. If anything, it's neither. There's Meg Ryan. Oh, she did it too.
Yeah.
It's like they're inside of that husk. Ah!
The transformation is complete.
Yes. Now, do you remember the leprechaun
Uh-huh.
with the chin? Huh. It's pointed in the same way
Wow.
her features are.
Yeah, they all get the pointy chin, and
Yes.
puffy
Yeah,
cheeks.
that's what I was trying to say about the demon in the church. That was what I was trying to state, the elongation of the face.
Yeah.
But with the puffy cheek, though, or the swollen cheek to represent a possible drunkenness upon the blood or the feti, which is left out for the Santa Claus in the dish or in the. I thought that was.
Yeah, their cheeks get so puffy, it looks like their jaw disappears.
Yes.
There's a comparison. Wow.
Right. And look at how much of a boy she looks like in that one.
Yeah,
like just understanding a little bit of hormones, and that could be a boy just on hormones, right? Jacked up on the hormone, right? Wow.
Oh, what's
wow. And oh, by the way, and that is what I'm quite sure my friend Michelle would let me know that that's the case too, like, and not to doubt it. That is a man or a biological male. Oh, like, I don't know.
Here's the various ages.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
2014 to 2023. Yeah, look at that. That's quite a change.
Yeah.
Wow. What are your thoughts, Christos?
Yes.
Hey, Kat, how you doing? If I missed anybody else coming in, hi, Rebecca.
She don't have issues with it. She a lot of people. I understand a lot of people love Madonna, and like same thing with Cher.
Okay, come on up here. I'll take a chance on you there.
And Cher, unbelievable work ethic, and she'd always be working out. Like from what I noticed, whether she's a girl or a guy. Like I know she says she's a man, but whatever.
Right.
She was always working out. So, I mean, I don't know if she looks as ghoulish. Some people might say yes, but I mean, she'd be older by now. And
hi, Bex. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks. I hope I wasn't imposing.
No, come on up. That's all right. If you have something to contribute, that's great. I'm sure you do.
Thank you.
Have any thoughts on these lady men or?
I do. I think that most of the ones that we see elevated, for a long time in front of us are what are called swire women. It's an androgyne insensitivity syndrome that if you look in if you research not intersexism, you know what I mean? We call everything intersexism over here, but androgyne insensitivity syndrome is an XY chromosome child that is flooded in utero that can't absorb testosterone, and they are flooded in utero with female hormones to create that. And so this birth control abortion stuff we see going on, I think the abortions are for this, fruit fetus diet you were talking about, for one. And I don't think they kill them in utero. I think they harvest live embryos.
Yeah.
But this Swire syndrome is about controlling breeding. I've seen a lot of the trans agenda, sort of transvestigation stuff about the men being switched as breeders too. I don't think so. I think that would still be manifesting too much heterosexuality in the reverse, right? This is attack on creation. This is a reverence for homosexuality, where I'm not saying they don't have breeders and they don't have a few swapped over women and there isn't a form of XX chromosome that looks male, but ultimately all intersexism is a variant of the XY chromosome. There's no XX chromosome that comes out intersex that isn't made through testosterone flooding of the uterus as well,
Brilliant.
So it is an attack on so these women come out psychosocially women. They are they don't know they're not women.
Right.
They're put on the birth control pill to promote menstruation and breast development. And they can't get pregnant anyway. And so but they can be impregnated through donor oocytes, which is play on all this language stuff, right? So a donor oocyte is actually an ova that has had what they claim the mitochondrial DNA removed, and you've now put the two people's information in there. One person thinks they're a woman, right? So now they're like, oh, 2 male mice can make a baby. You've been making male all these. I don't, if you've been to a fertility clinic, I don't want to say that. Okay. I'm not going to say that. Because I don't want people to think that there's something wrong with them if they had to go there and this, because that's the point here right now, So what's happening is the gross reverence and bastardization of a healthcare model that was never out to, for to not promote harm in the first place. Right. Yes. And now they're showing us their hands, right?
Yes.
So,
cool. Meaning it's like, hey, instead of making war, well, why don't we just move into the healthcare? Yeah, exactly. It's like you do it this way as opposed to taking guns in trenches.
Well, and in fact, healthcare, if I want to take it sort of even deeper, I don't want to blame any specific faith. Okay. Like, I don't want anyone to think anyone's more infiltrated than anyone else. Right. So, but the Roman Catholics did create this, right? They claim to have created birth control. Right. And I know, I won't get into theories on, all roads lead to Rome and
I was going to say with help. Yes, that's all we need to say. With help. Yes, all roads.
Yeah,
right. Very well
said. So I know that it is about fertility control, and guaranteed, if you think about it, you don't want, if Harry's but a man, right? Let's just assume Harry's but a man, right? He can't just go out willy-nilly, putting his willy-nilly, willy. You know what I mean? Like you want these people to be in a position where their inheritance can't be inherited. Like Hunter Biden knocking up a hooker. It's impossible.
Yeah. Okay. She gets bought off.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even know that they've probably created it so that technically their seed has already been harvested and they were neutered anyway.
Yes.
So that they can't,
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Cool.
Yes.
So, but that's what they do. Now they want us like, you're like, Jeff Bezos, he worked so hard, or Bill Gates, I don't care. Elon Musk lives in his own house and Bill worked in a garage and all this stuff. No, they just want us to relate to them. Right.
Yes.
They want us to think that, this isn't, even to look at it and think, you can naturally become like us, like it's all just an attack on creation that they turned their back on a long time ago. They made their deals.
Yes. Faustine all.
Welcome to the panel, the Ocean. How you doing, hon?
Ocean.
Hey, what's up?
Wonderful panel.
I'm surprised. Usually when there's this many people in a stream, I can't get in without it going all crazy, but I'm in, so I'm really happy.
Keep your device cool and hopefully it'll stick.
Hey, my device is always cool, baby. And it's real.
Okay, Willie Nelson said that Dolly Parton was a real woman.
I know, I'm chuckling at that one.
But how far, can you take it? If they're flooding your body with hormones before you're born to make you into a woman,
and then after in the form of plant estrogens and so on.
Yes.
And chemical estrogens and things like Roundup and whatever.
Well, and that's where I want to say that I don't know that I would trust in their chemical synthesis of fucking anything. If they can take an embryo out of a woman, claim they've killed it, that embryo becomes medical waste with no personhood, no citizenship.
Yep.
They can then surrogate that baby into something, and all our insulin, all this tranny drugs that they're taking could all be literally harvested from humans.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think that's part of the reason why we've got this agenda that actually glorifies not just full-term abortion, but infanticide afterward, after the baby is born. Yes, this is a wonderful thing. So that you can take control of that little human body and do what you want with it after that.
New York is pushing for that after-birth abortions. It's ridiculous.
And basically, you're selling your whole species down the river, and that's part of the corruption we're dealing with, folks.
Yep.
Yeah, but they brainwash. Yeah.
Yeah,
they brainwashed us to think that you know, that's the epitome of civilization, right? Like, you're like, no, a real civilization is like, how do we support everyone to never make the choice to not be a parent based on socioeconomic factors, right? Because that's almost always what it is. So you want to be a CEO, you want to be a mom. Do you need a daycare in the basement where you can go down and breastfeed your baby 5 times a day? Like, you know, and I'm not just making it about women either, you know, like they've reduced you guys to a one cell donor to support body autonomy. Meanwhile, many women are devastated when their girlfriend aborts the only baby they ever knew they created, you know, and what if they're lying? What if they're lying about the egg and semen too? Right? What if it's 100% intention?
Yes.
Right? And then you find out that without your intention, that baby would have been made, you know, and the rest is just a ritual. And now you allow a woman to deny. We've been brainwashed to even do this autonomy, my body, my right, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
You know?
right now your eggs and semen, or if you're unjabbed, are worth a lot more than anyone else's.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
I think that's why. Did you notice? I gotta ask. Oh, sorry.
they're probably collecting that for storage for later if they want to bring up if they have any, because they've known the cloning and all that, and genetically following your line all the way down, staying pure, leads to genetic defects, and they could have these extra genetics.
Can I say one more? I just want to say one more thing, and I promise I'll turn it over to Mary here. I just wanted to add in they posthumously, they can posthumously, right after death, they can harvest your semen by electrically probing your prostate to stimulate the last of your life force. And that if you've signed an organ donor card, you know, you even without it, but I'm just saying, if you've signed an organ donor card, you're like, that's why they're sending you to the mortuary to drain you of your fluids in your humors, you know? I think.
Well, yeah, I would think
They're
so
going
every
to take
time.
a long time draining me of my humor. I'm pretty humorous.
Like anybody who's fresh from a car crash or whatever, right? If I'm the guy that's hired by my town, I understand why I'm getting $70,000 a year to show up and say, hands off everybody, just like usual. I get him first and it goes to the morgue, or these officers are going to place you in cuffs because this is how we do it here. We don't do it any other way because this is the law. And it's also, you also got to throw in there, it's also God's will. You know what I mean? For the people that are, right? So anyway, and then you take it to the morgue and you immediately harvest what you can from the pineal from everywhere because it's all scheduled for rich men's products. Like the ones,
You don't have to die. You don't have to die to be harvested from. You just have to be put under. So you just have to be in a car accident. You think they're only going to harvest organs from you because you're dead, or you think they're only taking out that sick part of you because you're, oh, I'm in pain and I got to go to the doctor. Oh, they tell me I have Crohn's. Oh, I got to lose part of my intestine. I don't believe they take parts from anyone who's sick. That's all manifested in the medicine game that they're playing through their technological weapons. You know, to actually get you in there to take your body parts, in my opinion, just like 9/11, right? Like some 7D hologram, you know? And I can say that because I was in a car accident when I was 22, and it's taken 28 years to not sound crazy, but be like, you know, they knocked me out, stole some eggs, maybe some other shit, you know, claimed they saved my life, made me bow down on one knee, you know?
Yes, no one ever opens back up to check and look inside their chest.
Exactly.
My grandfather took, grenade to the stomach or whatever. He gets back. Doctors are like, we don't know how he's digesting food and how he's shitting. The last thing we're going to do is open him up, right? Why? Because if these are his x-rays, right, he should not be alive. And they've got a lot of that, by the way. And it doesn't surprise me that much, but they've got a lot of that because our bodies are so amazing.
People aren't ready for the vanilla cysts I introduced last week, right? A friend of mine put a fucking picture up of a cyst in her sinus. It's no big deal. They're going to operate, take it out, right? But I could do a better job on Google of putting a little white dot on, like a big white blob. And, you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, like vanilla skies, vanilla cysts, man. Don't trust them.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, they're butchers. Like, yeah, you get it. You get it. No doubt. Like, It's insane. Unless you've got something
Yeah,
where it's like, you know, like your pancreas explodes and it's like, yeah, see, that's the thing, right? I just know a story, right? Of a certain thing happens, then another thing happens, right? If this happens, this happens. Forgive me, how goddamn clever. Because I sitting here can only tell you that I would right now, even with everything I know, and it makes me feel bad. I'd probably let them, right? If I got a certain pain right now, right? Even if it was put in because of a pill I took, right? But it gives me a pain in my right side. You guys know what I'm going to say. And they'd say, we need to take that or you're going to die. I would say yes rather than no, because in my brain, it's like I don't know if I can pull off the manifestation that I'm not going to, you know, like have a huge
Yeah,
problem.
because they put themselves in the place of gods.
Yes.
You know, and trust me, I grew up with the father of a doctor, okay? I've seen the sick reverence people have for me based on that fact alone.
I am the son of this school, the principal of the Christian school. My father was God. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad to see, right? Everyone's like, ooh la la. And then you try and talk about any trauma and they're like, you can't be traumatized.
Thank you.
You know? Like,
I almost want to cry in front of you
Yeah.
just because you don't understand. I don't have to because I've dealt with a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you understand, no one can comprehend, hey, do you think that boy's being sexually abused and beaten every night? What do you mean? Like, not just every night, but like every day too. Say, what do you mean? You know, so bad that the doctor's like, look, sir, if you hit your child again because of the bruises and all the damage, we have to call we have to call CAS, regardless of the fact that you're God in this town. And it has to get pretty bad for it to be that way. But I mean, you don't think as a child either. But then you realize, yeah, everybody else's kids are getting whipped too. And it's like, yeah, dude, but not like 5 fucking times a day. You know, like, anyway, you know what I'm saying, right? And then you get it. They abuse, because that's why they brought him to him. It's because the parents couldn't break their kids themselves. Just obey the law without question. Because they know their children were still going to go, wait, that's wrong, this is right, this is right. How come we don't do things according to the truth? How come Trevor, can you please break our child? And that's what they brought him to. And that's why they pay him $5,000 a year. And that's how come they all sign a note saying, if you accidentally kill my kid while correcting him, it's not your fault, and we understand. No fault. And you have to hand that over before your child can go to private school. That note and $5,000, because you're breaking your little manager of your empire. And it can't fuck up. That's why they brought in Trevor.
There's a lot of online healthcare you can get now too, Angel Wings. I've posted a site for the States. There's one for Canada too. But they don't have trauma centers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's what they do need, is because they can get you medicines, they can get you diagnosis, but they don't have trauma centers, unfortunately. So we're still stuck in the system on the trauma centers at the moment, until some of these online places become large enough that they can open one up.
Yeah. Like my girl would go to clinics, no physicians, just going to clinics for what she needs, paying the $15. You know what I mean? Anyway, it was to stop the people from going to clinics, using but you go to the hospital and you're waiting 6 hours.
Well, these are subscriptions. It's like $10 or $15 a month, but you get access to vitamins and supplements and stuff like that. Most of the people working for them are ex-doctors or doctors who have left the field and learned holistic medicine.
You're telling me
and
2-tier, but hey, at least there's a tier, right, Max?
Yeah, there's a tier to go to. Yeah.
But see, this is the thing which is why this community is so important. To be able to say, hey, I'm sorry it's a second tier, but if you have the $15 or the $10 a month, you can help yourself.
Yeah, get rid
you
of
can be
the
proactive
system.
in your own situation. And that's what, at the end of the day, is really important, helping each other.
Yeah. In Canada, I'm going to still pay for healthcare no matter what, because they take it right off my pay.
Yeah.
So I don't get a choice in that. But down in the States, you guys can opt out and not pay your insurance. So you can go onto a system like that, and it would be probably far less than you're paying for health insurance right now.
Yeah.
You know, with the possible exception of they might prescribe you a list of vitamins or something, or a vitamin mix or something. But
like I'm like, it's almost impossible to get my meds if I hadn't been getting them, like since I was a kid, and then I'm in the same town I grew up in, so the doctor can be like, no, wait, you've been on these your whole life. I'm gonna write down that you need these, and we'll make this a little bit more permanent. So that, but I mean, it's hard getting amphetamines and methadone like together, because even though they don't even realize, isn't that just smart? He's got the things that don't have side effects that are negative.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that, especially considering he has the condition?
It's
And the
not
thing
in the
is,
system.
Well, they want to poison us.
Yeah, that doesn't
I
have
mean,
a, that
the whole
doesn't have a,
point.
that doesn't have a medical code number that they can get money off of.
yeah. Like, so I'm just lucky that the things that I need are the oldest things that exist. Just meaning, like, the one thing's a plant, Mayhung, meaning your nervous system or whatever. Like, and I know how it works. I've been on this stuff, like, and
Yeah, first thing I said to most
like
of my
it.
doctors when I meet them is, I don't take pills, so
Yeah.
let's
I
work it
shook his
from
hand.
there.
I said, I don't want this to
You
be
know
a
what?
war of wills.
I told them when they wanted me to take the vac, when my doctor sat me down for the talk about the vax, what I said, the first thing I said
Be
was,
careful what you say, please, or you get me banned.
Oh, yeah.
oh, sorry. You're right. What I said was, it's the adjuvants. The adjuvants alone would be enough because I have many allergies. Sorry, I forgot and said the 3 letters swear
This is
word.
not an endorsement, but our government says the vaccine is safe and effective.
Right.
Yeah, my doctor.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the schmacks.
And it didn't hurt him, and it didn't hurt his secretary.
Schmacks.
Yeah, right.
But the
And I was like,
schmacks.
that's
I was fine.
facts.
I was
And
fine.
I said,
The
do you have
schmacks,
more
them's
facts? He
the
was like,
facts.
no,
But I
have
said the
those.
adjuvants would put me in the hospital
Oh, yeah.
alone.
I'm in Canada,
So,
and
the
my
other thing is, my mother had a supposedly stillbirth before me. And so that would have been my brother. But I have a feeling that there was something wholly unnatural about that too, because I found out from nurses who have attended things like that, that you're alone in a room with a doctor. A lot of times you're not. Back in the old days, if they had something like a stillbirth or something, like my mother could not point me at a grave. And when I said, what did they do with it? She didn't know. She had no idea what happened to that.
Yeah.
And I think that was the way that they used to do it back in the day. They told her that he was encephalitic, had a big head. She said a big head, water head. And I said encephalitic. So I think that's kind of, but it is also the story that Whitley Strieber gives to women who have been, who have had children through gray intervention, let's say. So in other words, that could have been, sometimes this supposed hydroencephaly could be because they have gray, because they've been impregnated by a gray. They have gray DNA. Okay.
This
There was,
is what the book talks about.
Yeah,
So I
the
mean, I'm with
elongated
you.
heads, children seem to cause a lot of stillbirths as well.
So my mother, it was a shock to me when my mother told me this, because she told me this. Well, I was 28 getting ready to get married, and that's the only reason she bothered to tell me about this. And she said, and oh, well, if you're in heaven and you meet your brother and, blah, blah, blah. I said, my brother? She said, yeah, you had a brother. He didn't make it. He was stillborn. He was one of those waterheads. And I just about dropped I had a fry in one hand, a burger in the other. And I'm like, what? And it had just happened that just the night before, I'd finished reading that part in Whitley's books, Whitley Strieber, about those kind of births, about what happens all the way through. And I asked her to tell me more
Well,
and everything.
those are
Everything corresponded to what Whitley was talking about. And I had just said, if this is true, I said, I think this is probably bullshit. But if this is true, I'd have to hear it. It'd have to be somebody I trust, and it'd have to be pretty close to me, because I wouldn't trust just anybody to tell me a story like this. The very next day, my mother tells me this story. The very next day. Now explain that. I think my brother is probably one of these guys, and who knows that they're not trying to normalize that look so that we can't tell them from everybody else. I mean, the pointy chin, the big eyes.
They walk amongst us. They say that aliens walk amongst us. So even the reptilians are supposed to be able to shape.
There's even makeup,
right?
Right, there's even makeup tutorials to make you look like that more. I've noticed that the makeup tutorials are even nutty now. They really seem to be designed, a lot of them, to make you look more alien than human.
Interesting. She disconnected.
That's a good point. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's getting really over the top and bizarre in the name of being abstract or different. But it gets to a point where, like body modifications, it's more than just piercings and tattoos, which are cool, normal things. Is people really like shaving off something with their ears or nose, or making themselves look like basically like a weird chimera, like reptilian human, or some type of furry, or what you would call it. There's some people that like call themselves like actual aliens.
I got knocked off.
They've like morphed their feet into like weird like claw heel things, and they have like the black eyes and completely shaven head. Like,
welcome,
I have seen people, by the time they make themselves up, you wouldn't be able to tell they were human. Really?
Yeah.
And it's
I'd like to welcome to the
popular.
panel, London McLovin. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Peace, peace, peace. Much love, Max. How we doing, panel? Much love to the chat. Pleasure to be here.
Good. Nice to see you.
Got any
Sorry I'm
addition
late.
there? That's all right. Have you been listening, or?
No, I
You need
was
to catch
over
up.
at So Amma's panel. So Amma was hosting tonight, so I was over there for a few hours.
Okay. All right. So we'll wait for you to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about fetuses, makeup, transgenders, diet, fruit and fetus diet. Has a lot to do with it. It's been a long journey that we're getting. It's a lot of correlations are coming around to it. Crystal Shaman sent us this diet where you go on this specific diet, but one of the stages you can stop and eat fruit and fetus. Pretty much all the way you're eating fetus until you become like a gray alien with no pigment to your skin, and I imagine ghoulish looking, and gray hair or something. Oh, we lost Dee again. She'll be back. But the collection of the fetus is a primary focus of this, because where do you get so many fetuses that you can feed upon them every day with just fresh fruit, you know?
Interesting.
If you caught all that.
yeah, that was bizarre. I came in like in the middle of that.
Yeah.
You guys were reading that. It seemed like some type of like parody. It seemed like was that like some comedic bit? Or what was that? Like,
yeah. And then we were talking about all the stars that we know, and how many of them seem to be on this fruit diet. And apparently some of them are even claiming fetus. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I think somebody was saying that.
I'm going to grab it up and put it in the chat.
We got a storm going on over here, so that's probably why I keep getting knocked off.
All right.
Either that or they don't like what I'm talking about. One or the other.
We'll just keep letting you back in there.
Thank you. But this is pretty crazy, because honestly, it's like makeup has gone now from making you look beautiful to making you look weirder and more bizarre and more alien. And I have noticed that trend just looking at my feed. you know.
Are they turning us
Even
into
with
lizards? Is that what the, you know?
Hold on. Let me touch on that real quick. Because what she's
Alright.
actually saying, right? I've been saying that for the last 2 years. I swear to God. When I look at, you know, the quote unquote modern day lady now, they look like something close to something out of Avatar or something. All these weird colors and highlights and makeups. You know, it's like bring back the old-fashioned old face. You know, like, I don't mind a bit of mascara or whatever eyeliner, but sometimes it's a completely different color from their faces now. It's like you're looking more alien, something like not a woman. You don't look like women when you do all this stuff to yourself.
Yeah.
I stopped having my colorful hair. I liked
What-
it, but I stopped having it because of this trend.
Yeah.
I stopped coloring my hair.
You know, and
Makeup-
there's the factor of flooding the fetuses with estrogen to make them into men or females or males. You know, estrogen or testosterone to make these men turn into women for them in star form. You know, a lot of the stars we're looking at is what we're talking about. And then you look at what they're doing to the environment, the estrogen mimickers and all the plastics and glyphosates and other chemicals that they're now actually starting to spill all over the states as well.
Accidentally on purpose.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
accident.
I think it's makeup always was, and makeup and high heels is to disguise the male men as women, right?
Now, is that plastic too as well now?
It's a tool of the beguiler, right? That, you know,
Is makeup made
100%.
of plastic now, or is it still made of clays?
I think, well, I don't know. I from what I understand, some makeup has probably, you know, especially the age-defying makeup and stuff like that, right? You know, that has like, you know,
That has nanoparticles in it now.
Oh, nice. And baby fetus?
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully-
Yeah.
I won't touch
There's an interview of Sandra Bullock with Oprah talking about the youth rejuvenating face cream that she uses that has cells from a circumcised, cells from babies. I don't think it's. Does she say circumcision or fetus?
Foreskin.
Anyways, it's
So was it
yeah. I can't remember if she says it's from foreskin or if it's from the fetuses, but they
Foreskin.
talk about it. Yeah.
Foreskin cream.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Moyles collects it from Moyles, I guess.
Oh, just put your foreskin on my face directly, okay? No, wait. I mean, geez. You know, I mean, there are much more fun ways of doing that, people. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Slap in the face there. Yeah, I agree, Dee.
It's the only joke I've ever told that isn't mine. I'll tell it here.
Okay.
My dad told it, so one of the only jokes I tell that isn't mine. What do they do with the foreskins of circumcised penises?
They sell it to priests as chewing gum.
I know. They make it into a wallet that if you rub it, it turns into a suitcase.
Wow. Wow.
That's funny.
Only if. Yeah, never
But
mind.
that's not, you know, I have better jokes off the hop. Like it's just a good. It's just a
crazy.
Everybody's
Now,
loving
I
the
placed
foreskin
a
here.
minute of the guy on the stand admitting that they take the fetuses and use them for the harvesting and for all that stuff, and it's considered a medical thing that you can get a script for, and he does it, and he's on the stand and he admits it. I put it in the private chat and in the chat for everybody.
Okay.
If anybody want to check it out.
Cool.
How long is it? I can play it.
A minute, 1 minute. It's just a clip.
Let me open up. I got to open up a couple things.
And they've already checked it too. It's nothing that'll get you flagged. You know what I'm saying, right? I've had, you get it.
Let's see here. Where is that? There it is. Go. Yeah, they had all this extra stuff. Oh, I see other people down there. Hold on for a moment.
Yeah, sure. Where's it going?
Let's turn the volume up. It was quite low.
And these pieces were then cut up into little pieces, right? Yes. And they were cultured? Yes. Okay.
Can't I
Some
get
of
to
the
you? Oh, there we
pieces
go.
of the
Hey,
fetuses
Michigander.
were
Good to
pituitary
see
gland.
you. Welcome to the stream.
Hello. Hey, I just wanted to kind of squeeze it in there while you guys were talking about it. But old Billy Goats Gates and Fosi are wanted in
Fear
certain
and
areas
Loathing in
of
Las Vegas.
Africa for mutilating tons of boys with that foreskin shit.
Whoa. Wow,
Oh.
man. Wow.
Okay, let's
No,
give
if
this
you
a listen.
understand that
Oh, I missed it. What was
codifying,
the timestamp on that?
Oh, I'm not sure, brother.
There we are.
you
I got it. 107.
Okay.
I got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. It's quiet, so listen carefully.
Pieces to okay, included the lung of the fetuses? Yes.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Kidney? Yes. Yes. And tongue? I don't recall, but yeah, probably yes. So I just want to make sure I understand. In your entire career.
So it's an adrenochrome.
And this was just one study. So I'm gonna ask you again.
Quiet,
In your
Morgan.
entire career, how many fetuses have
They're giving people adrenochrome.
Shh.
When we were studying them originally, before we decided to make vaccines.
Does that make sense? I mean, this one study had 76. How many other studies did you have that you?
I can barely hear it.
I don't remember how many.
But yeah, we get the gist of it. So he's
Yeah,
definitely
he's admitting
yeah.
it. I actually have another one that's way better than that. I was hoping that it was the other one, not that one, because the other one I don't interrupt in. I picked the but yeah, I can grab that one up too here. It's a clip.
Hey, hey, everybody needs to make sure to check into the do not consent and holding people accountable. They're putting that fucking RNA crap from the vaccine. They're putting it in the food, man.
Yep, we've heard that. Yep. Thank you, Mr. Gander.
Yeah.
ooh,
Just a pop in. Okay.
Schmaxine.
Stay off that subject for me, okay?
Sorry, forgive me. I didn't mean to laugh.
Yeah.
The experiment. How about that? The experiment. Because it was totally an experimental thing. We
right.
were.
Well, anyway.
But
so yeah, the fetus.
Anyway, yeah, we're trying to keep him on air, but anyway, yeah, they've got
it quite clearly. They cut it up and they culture the fetuses, is what he's saying.
Yes.
And so like they're reusing these fetus lines, and I guess they've got pretty much a good supply of them. So yeah.
Oh yeah, probably from everywhere. It was probably some select ones, probably from select people.
Yeah.
Every vaccine has that one woman's DNA in it, right? That cancer patient.
Oh yeah, the tumor line.
She's immortalized through her fantastic, inconquerable cancer, right?
Canadian government says the
vaccine. Oh
yeah. I'm trying to remember her name, but she is in all. She's been injected in everybody. Her DNA has
all the
apparently that's good for you. I don't. I'm not as smart as the government to know how that's good for me, but and really we don't know the spiritual component of that.
Wow.
What's the spiritual component of that?
Yes. Oh yeah. Like they've got everything they need for their rituals, by the way. Like
they even have our DNA to use as rituals. They could use our DNA too.
As far as I'm concerned,
go ahead.
They can get your DNA off anything, though. Really,
pretty much
off all kinds of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saliva. The minute you
I
send away,
I heard they did it off money for a while. They were collecting it right off money.
you can collect it. You know, all those swabs that people say, all of those. If you're looking up your registry, your genetic registry,
Yeah.
There you go. It's a bank. It's a bank of our DNA.
Exactly.
And that's actually why they started. They don't give a damn if you know what your ancestors are or not, but they do give a damn what your DNA is.
Yeah.
And every
Depends on what
time
they're
you get a
collecting
blood
it for,
test,
too. Like some things they'll be collecting it for weaponizing, and some of it they'll be collecting for experiments for healing themselves. They're really into that. That's why a lot of these diseases are passed around. Like thalassemia used to never be in Africa. It was not an African disease. It was only amongst a small group of people with letter A, Shinaski heritage, and that got passed down to the Africans because they needed to cure that. That's also been passed on to the North American population recently. So they like to cure things, make people sick and cure things because they have specific diseases they want to get rid of.
Yep. Yep. Specific diseases.
Yeah, we lost a company up here. There was Bunny and Barry Sherman that used to own a
Barry
company
Sherman.
that made a product called ivermectin. But he was also in he died 4 years ago. Him and his wife decided that they were so happy. They hung themselves together in their pool basement, positioned perfectly.
That's so romantic.
Yes, and they bulldozed the house. But they were involved in research in thalassemia. And there's some contention over that for funding because there's thalassemia A and thalassemia B. So there's two factions that want funding for this research. And one faction just seemed to take a big hit on the one side.
Well,
yeah.
Well, if you're looking at all of the research, actually, I think a lot of this is, if it was strictly ETs or something doing this, they'd already have the ways to do all this. They wouldn't need to develop it. They'd already have it. And so telling you that they'd have to develop to a certain level to be able to do all this would be completely false, because they'd already have the technology, because obviously they'd be way in advance of us. So I really think that a lot of this we need to develop, like how much. This is one thing I've noticed too, like the Cancer Society. Okay, they will give you how many more people they're curing of cancer. They will say we're curing more people of cancer than ever before. What they won't tell you is there are more people getting cancer than ever before too.
Yeah.
They won't tell you the percentage of people.
Yeah, the average lifespan after cancer treatment is about
Don't
5
ruin
years.
my nice chart.
So you get about 5 years after cancer treatment. That's the average. Welcome back.
So basically, they don't want, and I looked, you cannot find the percentage of people that are being cured. You can't find the percentage. You can find the numbers, but you can't find the percentage total of people who have had it and been cured, because it hasn't moved in 30 years. Okay,
Well,
they have not.
might have even gotten worse, because there's
Might have gotten
there's
worse.
a lot more cancers around recently.
Yes.
So,
as a matter of fact, yes.
My father-in-law just died of skin cancer. So
I remember when cancer was very rare.
So he was 93, but still.
I keep forgetting that. Every time you, I love your dad. I love you, Max. Every time you mention your dad, I get this feeling in my pit. And then you remind me that he's 93, and I'm like, right.
Oh,
Still. I was in the sun.
He could have had a better death.
Once, Max.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. On a day that I knew it was warm, or the sun was out, right? And I had not acclimatized myself to it that year, meaning I had not been in the sun yet. And I knew this is a bad day to have to go out, but I had to. Now, I ended up getting hit by the sun because of how far I had to walk. I have developed, you know what I'm saying, right? Like whatever you want. They call them freckles, right? But they're not freckles. It's just cancer.
Oh, wow.
It's, you know what I'm saying, right? Like it's just, they're benign, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're just like, they look like freckles, don't they?
Well, at least it's not your foot again. That's.
Yeah, I got like. Now the thing is,
I'm ready on the button there. Hold on.
the cream has that shit like there's a thing, you know, when it flares up or whatever, and it's like friggin' horrible. And
that happened all in one day, eh? Pretty much.
The foot thing?
No, your hand, your wrist, the cancer. You say?
Oh yeah, one day. Okay, the sun hit me, right?
Yeah.
And then I scarred. You get what I'm saying? Oh yeah, from the sunburn. Oh, I should have said that. Forgive me.
Okay.
I got what I think were a little bit more than 2nd-degree burns in some areas. Now, those areas that were 2nd-degree burn turned into freckles that are, you know what I mean, that grew, that are now grow. You know what I'm saying, right? Like little growths everywhere. And it makes me understand that.
Did you know that electricity causes cancers too? The electricity they're sending through the air.
It makes sense. You burn yourself, it'll cancer. Yeah, burn it, it'll do it.
I had a thought on all this stuff just today. Earlier today, this morning, I woke up with this idea of like, all of this illness is hacking our biological code, right? So when they say like these things cause cancer, you know, it's like literally a transmission of some sort of frequency that literally is coming from your phone, for instance, right? Like, so it's not just the effects of the electricity per se, but actually a targeted, you know, frequency.
Wave, yes.
You know, like a physical MK Ultra kind of thing, you know,
and it binds your vibration at the same vibration to get in at it. Thank you.
Totally.
And that I think that all of this is a form of demonic hacking, you know, because they don't have, if we want to call them demonic, whatever, you know, I'm not trying to be biblical, even if I use biblical language, you know, like
negative frequency.
You know,
it is.
Yeah, like it's all
everything's a frequency.
You know, and the Greek goddess of illusion is Medea, right? Medea would be the same thing. And I always thought medicine, right? They're cinema, they're middle movie bullshit, right? Like, but now I'm starting to realize that this is one of the medicine is before even the media, one of the Greek goddess of illusions, mass manipulative tactics, right? You know, through medicine, right? Like, and they'll give us, oh, you're not smart enough to look at the pictures. You can't interpret the pictures. You know, when the only time I've been pregnant and I had a miscarriage, I was the only one who'd been into all those ultrasounds, right? So I saw the sac, you know, I saw this stuff, I saw these things. It looks like the moon, honestly, like you're navigating the moon or something. But after the baby, you know, after after I told the baby that, you know, probably, you know, it didn't have to stay for me. It was a bad relationship, whatever. I'm just saying after the baby was not there anymore, they send you in for a second. They take you in for a second ultrasound, and basically the technician said I needed to go for a DNC, and they said because you had an 18-centimeter mass, and I was the only one that had been in these picture things. I was like, no. I called the doctor. I was like, you need to call the tech. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and they thought I was being arrogant, and I was like, no, you go call that tech. I'm not going for no unnecessary fucking vacuum out of my womb scenario here. You know what I mean? Like, no, you go. And it was 18 millimeters miswritten as 18 centimeters. Right. And you know,
I remember the story. I remember you said no.
Yeah.
I remember.
So
yeah, I on the alchemical table of symbols.
Yes,
I wonder why I don't freaking trust any of that. I will not go in. I have never been in for a surgery. I hope never to be in.
That's what their symbol means. It means
Rexall.
Take. Yeah. Take.
Yeah.
So all they're going to do is take from you.
Yeah.
That's their symbology. That's their alchemical symbology, and they know what it means.
Yeah.
They know exactly what it means. And if you don't know who they are, go back to the beginning of the
Oh,
show.
what is the symbol? What is the symbol?
RX, Rexall.
RX.
The Rexall, the part in
RX.
Rexall.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that means
Rexall.
to take.
That makes
means to
sense.
take.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Your
Yeah.
mind
Sense.
knows
The
it too, but the symbol.
pharmacological symbol means to take.
Yeah.
So they're going to take your money, they're going to take your life, they're going to take your organs, they're going to take from you.
And raking means it's a motion across the skin, to rake across the chest with.
It's take.
Yeah,
Take,
to
not
rake,
rake.
to take, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, you'd be
Yeah.
taking off the skin, raking, take. With word
Exactly.
etymology, you're not too far off there. I mean, any ache.
A-C-K.
A-C-H-E. Ache.
Take, T-A-C-K. Take.
Yeah.
Achy, breaky heart.
Safe.
Break, yeah.
Yeah.
But Reiki, it actually means love of God.
Wait.
That translates to love of
Yeah,
God.
but
It's four
spirit
languages.
on the end. That's
Spirit
got the eye
transfer.
on the end.
Okay, yeah, you're taking the spirit because, like she said, it's spiritual, and you're admitting that, and then you're taking it from the person. You're transferring it by praying for the other person. Okay, remember when Jesus Christ said, I could tell him to get up and walk, or I can say your sins are forgiven. Okay, Reiki, you're sitting there and working with the other person spiritually. If you actually know what's going on. I had a Native girlfriend, so like she, someone explained it to me, but I didn't learn how to do it from a person, so I won't go further in it. I just understand the concept of energy transferring between someone else and yourself.
It used to be taught in schools.
That's really all you need to know, Morgan, and you can
It
do it.
used to be taught in schools. It was taught in schools regularly until the allopathic medicine finally gained sway. I know all about this because Paul, my friend Paul, is a Reiki master and an Amanahuna master and a whole bunch of other. But he looked into all of this, and frankly, natural healing was considered to be a necessary thing, and that people had to learn it. And up until allopathic medicine got full sway, and then they cut it off.
Wow.
Because it was something that you could do yourself and you wouldn't have to pay anybody for it.
Oh, yeah. When they get rid of that, like 1972, something like that, or even earlier?
My dad, even earlier than that.
Oh, I thought so. 56, I was thinking maybe even.
Yeah, it was very much earlier than that. And basically, yeah, my dad knew how to do it. My dad knew all about it. He cured one of my dogs.
Right.
He healed one of my dogs from a spine injury. He healed a mini dachshund from a spine injury with it.
Exactly. Understanding
and
the
they
physics
have
of the body. What chemical do you need? Oh, this. What's going on? Oh, we better make sure you get the extra iron. I'll go out and get the pellets. Why? Because I'm buying the animal feed. I ain't paying the regular prices. It's the same damn thing. But yeah, that's how you do it.
But the big thing is we've got to quit relying on, and I'm sorry, but I hope I don't get in anybody in any kind of trouble, but because they're going to say I'm a troublemaker to say this, but really, we don't need. Your body was designed to heal itself. Your body was designed to take care of itself. I think when we get everything plugged back in again and we get ourselves all optimized again, we'll be able to handle any doggone thing that happens to our body, okay?
Probably wouldn't
I
be
really
anything that
believe
happens to our bodies at that point. That's my thinking on it. I don't think we'd ever get sick again. We would just die.
Probably never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think all illness is man-made. I mean, man-made through the great creator as a part of the
Well,
system.
maybe
but,
not man-made, but
look at the
there's diet too.
artificial.
Look at the corpses of the
there's
old
diet.
men of old that they've always found.
Artificial.
You don't look at them. Oh, they died of this illness. They died of this illness. No, they died. They died either in battle or of old age or whatever. But they've got their teeth, they've got their body, and they're healthy. They're not like us.
Like nutrition is a big part of it, obviously, but
Yeah, but they find them healthier than they find us when we die. When they find them like 1,000 or
Well, he was awfully healthy when he died.
dermatitis, all of these diseases can be electrically caused. I can show you video
Yeah.
after video of professionals speaking on it and referring to PubMed, which is the resource for all doctors in the U.S., showing study after study about the effects of EMF radiation on the human body. And it's out there, but unfortunately, the laws are only set up to protect the provider.
The company, the non-person,
the company,
entity, as it were, as it were.
They
entity.
have no
Corporate
obligation.
entities.
They have no
They make
obligation to change anything they're doing based on your health. The only reason that they can make any changes to what they're doing is if you can prove it affects the property value. So if you can claim it affects your property value, you can get it moved maybe a little bit away. That's about it. And that's all you can do.
Because it affects the kicker.
Yeah. If it affects money, that's a big thing. You know, if it affects your health, don't worry about it. You'll get used to it.
Right. Yeah, you'll get used to it.
We've got a pill for that, right?
That isn't where, yeah. You can't, really, we got a pill for everything, and we know it all, and, we've got it all figured out. And it's,
Is Fireball
just let it
easier to
happen.
make? Yeah.
Just roll with it.
It's just, you're treating the symptom or you're treating the disease. Like,
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? And people don't care, especially if the symptom comes with a bit of extra soma on it. They know that too. The spoon full of sugar that helps the medicine go down, make sure you put a little bit of fentanyl in that. And they know, and so does the cartel, man.
Take. They're
Well,
on the take.
if you get into something like homeopathy, you even get down the rabbit hole deeper, because you find out that homeopathy was also very popular before the allopathic takeover.
It was.
Okay, allopathy.
That was a
being
war.
chemical.
They
Chemical. The chemical war.
People. They
literally
people.
killed people.
They hunted down the healers.
It was probably precautionary, right? The homeopathy was probably actually taught to make sure that you already had the building blocks within you to resist this nanotechnological warfare, which if they say they're putting it in some sort of mRNA vaccine right now, don't think that they haven't put it in every pill and every needle since they've ever touched us.
Yeah, they're
right?
pretty smart.
Yeah. Like they can sell anything.
All bases too.
This is endgame. Get them to agree to it now.
Yeah.
Like,
we're more back in the beginning point.
I think we might find out that they already had everything so in place that this entire past few years, I'll be very careful, was actually an entire experiment in suggestion.
Experiment.
CIA.
Yes.
And the real experiment is the suggestion of the problem, right?
Yes.
The suggestion of the problems of the solution, right? And how did you manifest that in your body?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, the Canadian government was put out a CBC report that the Canadian government used unprecedented psyops on people to get them to comply with what was going on over the past few years.
Yes.
Yeah, which is interesting.
It would be illegal to
Canadian,
use on another country to do that.
And as a Canadian, I knew at every turn when people were like, tightening, everything, right? I knew from day one that where I stood. And that's the part that I feel like a lot of people don't understand, is that you think I had a choice, right?
They came into work and told us about what they were doing. And
I would have never made a choice that people think I have. I don't have that choice. My choice is to not do that, any of that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about it at work, the whole lockdown thing, and I went, "Oh, here we go."
We had a ritual. I don't know if this happened in other countries, but here at 7 p.m. every night, right? They banged the pots and pans every night at 7 p.m. here. It went on for at least 12 months. right? At least 12 months every, it went on for so long. We had already moved on so many fronts that I thought, is this going to go on forever? Will 100 years from now, people still be banging pots and pans out the window and they have no idea what they're even doing it for?
They will start
You know?
again at some point, forgetting why they did at one point, saying they
It's
used
for
to do
potholes.
this.
It's
I
for
forget whether
potholes
it
like the
keeps away
truckers.
elves or something, but we've got to do something about these elves attacks.
Bang for the potholes. The truckers had potholes. Bang your pot.
Yeah. Oh no, actually, it turns out it was truckers. Oh,
Yeah.
truckers did the stories they'll tell.
You know, we had a great conversation after a situation that happened earlier today for me, a few friends in private, and we were looking at actually fonts, right? And you know, Times New Roman being the font that has been used for a long time, and the sans serif, you know, without the little edges on them. And what is a serif but a seraphim? And that even this, we think we understand this iconography that we're trying to like decode and stuff, when really it's like down to the tone, the frequency, the soundbite, the script, right? The literal script that the script is written on. I think, you know, like it's impressive.
The party, and then no, Chris, welcome to the real party, and you walk into the doorway, right, with the elevator.
They've been
and then
working on this for 100, if not more years.
Yes, meaning it's more.
You know?
The
Well, we
chess
gotta
people,
remember-
they're playing chess. They're playing chess, not checkers.
Schmedley, who is Schmedley, was one of the first writers of this type of a plan.
We got to remember that some of these beings live a long time, a lot longer than us.
I know.
And the plan could be a lot older than us. So, and we have been alive ourselves.
Oh, yeah. Back to the late 1800s, when the first writings of it were first produced.
We should be living a couple of 100 years at least, but we're not.
120 for sure. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, cutting edge is now 200, but that's, you know, that's the last I heard. But it keeps climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. I think
They'd rather sell us the story of clones than admit that they've been around that long.
Clones and climate change, right? You're going to have a new clone. Don't worry about it. Just keep paying your carbon tax for climate change. That's
you know, there was a movie called Repo Man.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And if you saw that movie, I think it tells a lot about the way that corporations think.
Well done. Yeah. If they could tax the air, you know, tax your breath, they would do it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Tax the sun.
And they're working on that. I thought they were working on that with the masking. I thought they were going to move.
Old Klaus Schwab wants to blot out the
to
sun.
a point where you had to buy like canisters every day to refill your air.
Spaceballs,
You know?
oxygen can.
That was
I thought they
Total
were
Recall.
going to implement that one, you know?
That's pretty funny, Max. Like you have to, I mean, it is pretty like to the extreme. It'd be like, it's so contagious out here. I need to put my astronaut suit on
Yeah.
and buy my air from the government.
Yeah,
Right.
or,
Like,
you know, buy your daily
like and never
filter,
take the
right?
suit off again. Right. Just
You have
trust
to
the
have
meter
your-
in front of you. Yeah.
You have to have a filter every day, a new filter, and you got to buy that. And,
Yeah. That guy's not wearing his suit, but he's not dying. But they have you convinced that
his filter's red. His filter's red. He didn't buy his new filter.
It's symptomless, Rebecca. It's symptomless. The tests show that you will die, right?
That was hilarious. Then it's like, then them all telling each other in line, "Oh, Bill's got it, Jane's got it." Oh, but none of them have any symptoms. Oh, thank good. It's like they already knew it was a lie, so that's why they would talk about it so loud in the lines up, because they like bragging about but nobody's sick, ha ha ha. So now our lie doesn't even come with us getting sick anymore, ha ha ha. It's like great, but they're proud of it. You get what I'm saying, right? Like talking.
Well,
to each
yeah,
other.
they rolled that out with HIV.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Fear of the
Magic
symptomless
Johnson.
illness.
Magic
Fear of
Johnson.
the symptomless illness. You know.
What was Magic Johnson's cure? Not to take the medication. You know.
Yeah. Well, and their tests, you know, when you do medical testing, you want false negatives, not false positives, right? No, sorry. You want, just a second. You want false positives, not false negatives, right? You want to make sure that if someone is sick, they don't think they're well, you know? But what they don't tell you is that, for instance, if they do a test, a swab for chlamydia, right? They're testing the body's immunoresponse to a virus, right? They're not testing for virus particulate, right? They're testing how much do you have that's produced against the chlamydia virus to show that you have chlamydia and your body's attacking it right now, rather than, you're only getting tested because someone told you they had it or whatever, and
Here's
then
the
they're like, oh yeah.
stumping point. Show me the virus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
germ
so
theory. Thank you.
Show me the virus.
My friend way back in the day, she got a letter. This is like in the 80s, late 80s. She got a letter from the blood clinic saying, we're really sorry. We have to tell you we can't take your blood for a while because first stage testing tested positive for HIV. And then she dropped it, cried, called her mom, continued reading. And it was like, don't worry, false positive, did second stage, it's expensive. Second stage testing shows
PCR testing
day-to-day
for that
yeah.
too, eh?
So, but here's my thing, right? Here's the trip switch. I also know a woman that got diagnosed with HIV way later, right? And she had no symptoms, and she knew her sexual partners, and there was no chance of AIDS in the scenario. You know what I mean? And she's on the medication now. Well, if you don't believe that someone can be, if a virus has no cure, then you don't believe there can be the antibodies in the body that you're testing for. So you're actually testing immunity to the thing that you're claiming is the illness, perhaps. And they don't want the blood because her blood will cleanse the blood of other people and make sure they don't get sick, right?
Yeah.
She was that same friend was in England during the avian flu. And now the blood clinics won't take her blood for fucking nothing. Like nowhere, never, ever again. And probably because it's too powerful. It does the opposite of what they want, right?
Correct. It's so obvious in these things because it's like, wait, maybe it's not me. Or maybe, and then you go again, oh no. And because the thing is, once you find these things out, when you weren't trying to do anything, that's the thing that I always find. Yeah. When I'm not angry and hateful and just doing my thing, it becomes so obvious. I mean, because the communication is there because I'm not burning that bridge because of the hate and fear that I said earlier. The hate causes fear. And then the fear will end up, all the things, and then the fear will cause hate. So when you're not doing that and you're honestly getting information.
Knowledge takes away fear.
So when you're getting the knowledge and your knowledge feeds, so you're informed. An informed mind.
You really don't want to be doing that now.
You can affect. You don't feel impotent, and when you feel strong, what's the word I'm looking for? Not just strength, but fort. French. I'm looking for the French word, but anyway, when you feel.
Christos, you made it back.
When you feel like you've got it, when you're doing the right thing, mind, body, and soul, and you're aligned with your purpose, and you're speaking truth simply, people can also feel that because they resonate with it.
Always be a seeker too.
Oh yeah, as opposed
There's
to
a seeker board every minute, I hear.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Like
I thought I heard that anyway.
Like if somebody was like, I need somebody to perform an operation, people are like, oh, I can't. I don't have that attitude. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, look, and I'd explain to people because of like IQ and shit like that, or whatever you want to call it. It's like, look, we can do the thing.
Energy,
Who's got the hand? You know what I mean? It's like I do. I've got, I play guitar like a fucking print. You know what I mean? I can do the thing. I could probably do it blindfolded. We'll do it right beside a thing where I'm doing it on the other thing. Meaning, how much are they going to charge you? Or how much do these things normally cost? Okay, so understanding that, look, I can have a pig right beside me that's living, and I can do the operation right on the pig every stage of the way. You know what I mean? Before I even touch the person I'm going to do it to. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I can sit there going, okay, I just did it properly, and now I'm doing it, so, I mean, I can really do a good, just, like, if people think this is impossible, there's always, where there's a will, there is a way.
Psychic surgery's been video taped all over the place. Some of them are frauds, some of them aren't, I think.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's definitely a way to be made beneficiary.
Yeah. Sanitary.
He says, stop touching pigs.
I'd be like, it's important. Keep everything sanitary. The area, everything. They'd be like, Morgan understands the most important thing is keeping everything so that nothing gets infected because that's the most important thing, Morgan said. And you know what I mean? And like, I do everything right. because I'd listen inside.
The cat's got my phone cord.
And then I'd go get episodes of General Hospital. But you know
Let's
what I mean?
go.
Like,
You're gonna get electrocuted. Quit it.
like doing
Cowboy!
the textbooks and the pictures that overlay the body and everything. And then actually going into bodies, like I said, pigs and everything. And then when people actually expire naturally, if they have given you permission, understanding that I'm going to be trying to save babies' lives and people's lives. And it's like, yes, go ahead and tease out my system so you know what's in it. But the thing is, the person's going to be honored for that. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And that's the point. And the community understands that. It's not like, oh, this person's grave was how unfortunate. That's what people would say that are trying to politically sway people. They'd be like, hey, let's say all we need is 1 or 2 bodies, to use, to check out for our students. Even if it's 1 or 2 a year, because we don't want to be disrespectful or whatever, and but we're gonna have everybody checking it out. You know what I'm saying? Like in an auditorium, and everybody checking out while each day we teach. So that each semester, each group of kids gets to see a different body and everything that's in it, and it has to all be recorded by all. You get what I'm saying? All of them, and it's anyway, and that's what it should be. They don't do that.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what they do now other than brainwash them to be
I like that.
manifestors.
People should do more practice on their own before inflicting themselves on others.
Isn't it funny where brainwashing is really brain dirtying up, really?
Yeah.
Polluting.
Welcome back, Christos.
I love that. I love it. I can't. I mean, I shouldn't say this. I can't believe everything is backwards. I can't.
Oh yeah, it's upside down clown
I
world.
can.
I can because I remember when I was a child noting it. That's what I'm about. That's what I was. That's what I am.
It's
First
the
political thing for me was the 7-Day War, where Israel went and stomped all over everybody. My dad thought it was great. I thought it was dumb. Go ahead, Bex. What were you going to say?
I was going to ask more about the Israel 7-Day War now. I don't know anything about this. I was
no.
What was I going to say? I don't know.
Oh, geez.
Watch money.
Israel got all armed up, and several nations, including Egypt and a few others, were building up after the Second World War so that they could protect themselves. And Israel just went by and just rolled all over them all, just decimated their militaries. And it was called the 7-Day War. And that began the domination by Israel of pretty much the Middle East. Through proxy, U.S. proxy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the implanting and the deal, even back in 1941 or 42, when it was, in order to let the Ashkenazi or whatever, the Jews, right, come back and get their own, the state.
Yeah, they were moving back as early as the 30s, I think. They
That's
were
right.
pulling them over there.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they knew that this was going to happen long before it happened.
Be interesting to see how Italy plays into that, because people think Rome is so ancient and Italy is so old, but Italy was just formed in 1942 or 45 as well, right? So
the Italian language
Funny
is entirely
feeling that our whole history is off by
the Italian language
That's
is
what I was gonna
entirely
say.
cobbled together.
A
They
thousand
accept a
years
mixture
or
of
more.
Latin and other languages. You're
that's what I was going to
absolutely
say.
correct,
Actually, I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say that. Oh fuck! Now I've forgotten it again.
But the Italian language is
History
brand new.
being meddled with and
Bavarian.
time being meddled with.
The Germans, the Saxons.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Best mental gymnastics anyone could have ever put us through, though, right? Because that's what I challenge people to challenge me on myself, because we all have our confirmation bias, right? Like we really do. And it's based on our inner Gnosticism, our inner knowing, you know what I mean? Like, what we think we know and we bring to the table. But ultimately, it's almost always we have something we've learned that is some truth we hold based in that, when in fact the mental gymnastics we're being asked to learn right now is not believe anything. Doesn't mean that everything is a lie, but once someone's proven to be a liar to this extent, That's why I'm like, do eggs and fucking semen even make a baby? You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
Is death,
what they
is death a
practice.
trick?
Right.
Is death a trick? Do we even die? Like,
Yes.
are they tricking us in this fucking thing somehow? Like,
I tell
know?
children, do you ever remember not being alive, children? No, because that would be cruel. And you were created to love and be loved forever by a being that is, which makes sense, doesn't it, kids? Something not existing and then all of a sudden coming into existence, you
Finish
can
your
never
thought,
wrap your
Beck.
head around that, and it frustrates you, doesn't it? But knowing that love and life always was and always will be, because that's how much you're worth. You're not nothing. You're valuable, and you're absolutely right. Death is no thing, children. You do go unconscious, but just like a dream, you always remain you, because God, who is love, doesn't waste his time.
Right, Scotty
And
boy?
you are
Hey,
made.
Lucky, how you doing?
You are made by the same miracle that makes the sun do its dance every day, and that makes your little brother or sister or life actually happen. So that's where we're from. So I'm not going to be afraid to go there and what they call death, because the same thing that gave me life is going to give me death. So it
Well,
can't
that's
be a negative
I
thing.
already died once. I've already died once in this life. I know what it's like.
That's the
Okay.
thing. Like most people
I know
don't
what
go that long
happens. I
without
was
pooping
still
themselves,
around.
puking. There's a list of things.
Really good.
I'm 45, as if I've never died. Like, you know, like physically, one way or another, you go through death, and
Where'd you go, Bex?
understand that you're humbled,
There's
and
the link.
like all you can do is really, is seek the light, and while it's day too, like
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. People have been bringing up this thing now to make you afraid of dying, that you're going to be gobbled up by some kind of Archon program to throw you back in, and that you're going to be, and really, I used to listen to Farsight, found it very interesting. They do remote viewing. I will not listen to them anymore because it was really, when they got into the otherworldly stuff, I could tell it was that whatever it was that they were spinning something that was not for good for us. I mean, yeah, they basically are telling people to walk away from the light,
right.
or that you don't want to go into the light because it's going to make you forget, and then they'll send you right back in again, and reincarnate you. And it's not. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I do think technology is God made, and it's been hacked on purpose for part of this lesson. So I'm not one who's like electricity bad.
Yeah.
We got to go back to nature. We were once. That's all ape stuff, in my opinion. Right? Like, but I am. Where's it going? Technology. Oh, but this death thing, like I think there's some hints in Disney, right? Like Disney cryogenically freezing himself, for instance, right, in case they can bring him back later, and then you've got this, like they got the big they have major access to the train system. Let's just say Hollywood, right, and the illusory properties of this realm, perhaps, right? So, these the animation department. Right? Like cartoons may be a cover up for animating cryogenically frozen, like, and I know this might be super abstract, but, when we find out there's the Vatican and there's Washington, D.C. and there's London, England. And then just last year, they kind of slipped it in there, and Disney, right? Because Florida, that's its own, the Disney World in Florida is its own autonomous state, its own police, its own fucking everything, right? And you're like, you're like, oh, it's not just a trinity of these things. Like, oh, Disney's there, right?
State.
Yeah. Then you're all like, this is all making so much sense. God give Lamps Day, if anyone's seen him, not to give him a little prop. It's like I don't want to get too far. I mean, we know who's been silenced for things, but sometimes, the good guys are made out to be the bad guys, and the bad guys are made out to be the good guys. And perhaps there was some, someone
most of the time.
is going out to look for those really bad, really old guys, like things that need to be evaporated in really hot ovens, for instance, right? And then those hot ovens get fucking, the script gets flipped, right? Because you didn't win, right? So then you're like, Disney Hitler, as I'd like to call him, as who's been elevated as the evil doer, may not at all be what that cause was about, and then because that cause didn't win. So I could say the Nazis won, if I talk the regular narrative, the Nazis won the war, overtook the world, but no, they fucking lost big time, but they actually put a prop in their place, like brother swap body double out, just like the crucifixion in the Quran, for instance, right? They're like, oh, just okay, nobody will notice, right? And suddenly you've got this narrative where a bunch of Christians were killed, perhaps, and their namesakes were actually taken by potentially another religious people who then maybe rebranded themselves again. So it's like
that
deep,
would be in the
right?
distant past, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it comes all the way forward, perhaps, again, but
Yeah, that.
Yes, of course it would.
They may even
And so
have
it's like-
links to Samaria back there.
Well, yeah, and the Romans, perhaps. Like again, I don't mean to blame the Romans, but I know that everybody blames the Jews, and the Jews turned the Jesus over to the Romans, right? And then the Romans killed him, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
it wasn't in their law.
So they were complicit in this on some front, or they elevated, or they were elevated, or kind of like Project Paperclip. Like we didn't know about it till after the fact,
They were
right?
going to lose their jobs. They knew it. This guy is going to cost us the business end of this by giving everybody access to God, which they recognized we sell access to. Which
they act like America's. They act like America's been attacking everybody for the last, 50, 75 years or whatever. Meanwhile, America's been overtaken under attack and fucking been slandered, and my neighbors have been given a really bad name here. It's like, and if that's what's going on, then look at the good name that we've been given and be suspicious, right? Like, look at the good name of Switzerland and be suspicious. Look at anyways.
Okay, I got 5 more minutes, guys, and then we're going to shut her down.
No, it's true, man. It's true.
What a wild trip from fetuses to Nazis.
Hey, Max, can I give a shameless plug for my show later?
Sure you can. Yep.
Okay, just like you see it, D Oceans Deep Woo. I'm gonna be talking later on about brain, heart, and gut. How you have a brain in your heart and your gut as well as in your head, and how to get them to all work together. And some other stuff, and of course our exercises and stuff we do to get you ready so that you can achieve your godlike superpowers.
Nice.
Which are really your natural powers. I mean, they're your natural powers. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So come on in, come on see me. I love you. Bye-bye.
Nice shameless
What's the channel name? D Ocean what?
D Oceans Deep Woo.
Okay.
The Ocean's Deep
Let me
Blue.
see if I've got it here. Should have it here.
Just like the chat name. I don't have it on here. I have something else. D Ocean Swagger is what I have here, but it's D Ocean's Deep Blue. And I think I'm the only one.
Oh, you're down on my list somewhere.
Let me see if I don't have it saved either. I don't have it to where I'm on my phone, so I can't even go get it.
James might have it. Doesn't James
Is
have it?
Ocean's Deep all one? Oh, I found it. The Ocean's Deep Blue. It come up as I found you.
Okay, there you go.
I found you.
Okay, that's it. The Ocean's Deep Blue.
I have a song. Saved
you'll be
by
fine,
the
Scotty boy.
ocean blue, saved by Dio. It's called In Your Eyes. I don't know if you've ever played that one.
In your eyes.
Yeah,
I know
Saved by the
I know a
ocean
version of
blue.
that, but
I've got it. That's a great song. I'm gonna go get it. You love playing my stuff.
I only got a couple minutes left. Next time.
Well, Max, thank you very much for taking a chance on me. I really
No
appreciate
problem.
it. You
No
know,
problem. You were a great benefit to the conversation. Thank you for
Oh,
coming.
you're a lot of fun. I hope you come tonight. I'll let you in a while.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to come on?
Just go to my site.
Anybody,
Just go to my site,
any of
Israel Lab.
y'all want to come on tonight? You can do that anytime I'm on. You can come.
Yeah.
You can say,
Very sweet.
"I have something to say," and then I'll let you come on.
Yeah.
I
There you
learned so
go.
much from you guys.
All right.
I really
We
do.
learn so much from each other.
Yeah.
We,
That's why
yeah, I
that's why
do
I love
too.
these get-togethers. We get to, and the way we came around on that whole story, 360 degrees to the beginning. That was hilarious and beautiful. All the connections. Everybody adding a piece. All right, guys. Until next time, much love to you all. Keep that
Yes,
third eye
stay
open.
safe.
Use your intelligence and your intuition. Bye-bye.
Take care.